Well, hello everybody. How you doing today or tonight, wherever you might be? Welcome to Jedi Granville Productions. I am that boy, Jedi Granville, and with me, I got my boy, Mr. Daniel, Mr. also known as Sci-Fi Sentry from the gaming and well, a Truth Gaming Systems
True
and
savage, bro.
True
True
Savage.
savage.
Thank you. Get
Yes,
correct
sir.
me because I don't know what the hell I'm saying.
It's all good,
And
bro.
with the is we got a guest star with us because he's been off the see for a minute doing anything live streaming and everything. Mr. D Film Fanatic, how you doing, brother? Even though we can't see you, hey, you got a beautiful voice all the same. You know,
Yo, 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 what's up?
you know it. How you brothers doing this evening, though? Yeah, I can't give up. See, this is what happens when you get tongue tied dealing with the wrong shit. So, but don't go into all that.
It's all good, bro. Thank you. Thank you, Jedi, my brother, for having me on again, man. I appreciate
Yes.
it. Much love and respect, man, and just hanging out, bro. Just hanging out. Glad that my brother D from Fanatic is finally able to join us on a live stream and ready to go, man. Ready to talk about Cradle to the
Yes.
Grave. I'm
That's what
like,
we're talking about. Cradle to the Grave. This is a 2003 action picture from Warner Brothers and produced by Joe Silver. And we know how Joe Silver is. He's all about action, although sometimes some of these movies are hit and miss what he produces. But this film here, you know, let's be honest. I mean, I think you said it best, Daniel. It's like we watched it and it's kind of like, in your opinion, though, what do you think about the film in general? In fact, when did you first watch it? I should ask that.
first, I want to. Remember, we talked about it like a few days ago. I want to see what I want to see what film fanatics thoughts are on it first, and then you can tell me,
Okay.
bro.
Well,
Because
film. Give me
yeah,
your
because
all points bulletin on what you feel about this film. I mean, when was your first time seeing it?
Well, first of all, thank you for having me and including me in this awesome podcast of yours. And I think I first saw it when it first came out, and I didn't see it ever since.
Okay.
Till we were talking about doing a podcast on it. Or this film is shit.
Okay. That's okay.
No, it has some good points, man, and I'm just kidding. It's not overall shit. Uh, but yeah, it's good stunts. Um, I love the soundtrack, and the action, and what's his name? Silverman.
Joe Silver.
yeah,
Joel Silver, man. Like if you go back to all the movies he's done, he knows action. He's done a lot of uh, good movies. Fun movies, should I say? And
Yes.
this was fun. Don't take it seriously. You're not gonna get no Academy winning, Oscar awarding acting here, best directing. No, it's just a fun film, man. With if you enjoy hip hop, you know, uh, urban action, street, and sprinkled with some, Jet Li martial arts. Yeah, you'll like this movie.
Okay. Okay. Now, Daniel, give me your 2.2 cents on this.
um, of course, I kind of do agree with my brother D, man. It's got some gems. It's got some small little, sparkles in it, but
Mhm.
yeah, it to me it just seemed like it was off of just the remember DMX, Darkman X, Earl Simmons, God rest his soul.
Mhm.
He was big at this point, 2003 or
Yeah.
2002. It was 2003, man. He was banging, dude. He was up. All the clubs were playing this when they still had clubs back then. And yeah, he was all the madness, bro. So I don't blame Joel Silver and all of the producers or anybody who wanted to make this film to get him on there to add some of that fire to it. And then Jet Li, well, we all know Jet Li. He's a fantastic martial
He's a legend.
artist.
Yeah.
And they had a good cast, man. They had a Gabriel Union and
Yeah.
of course the great Mark Dacascos and Yeah, yeah, exactly. And the girl, what's her name? I think her name is
Kelly
Kelly.
Hu.
Yeah, Kelly Who?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, dude, Scorpion King,
Yeah.
uh, Lady Deathstrike and
Mm-hmm.
X2, and like it's dudes. Like she was, they're all like I said, and then the other guy, what's his name? Anderson, yeah, Anthony Anderson,
Anthony Anderson,
yeah,
yes.
and then his I think it was his little brother. What do you
Yeah,
call it? Dragon, yeah,
yeah, gone.
Dragon. I think,
Yeah, right
yeah,
on.
Dragon. Yeah, he was, he was a part of it, and it's you can say it starts off kind of to me it started off good, but then it got kind of sloppy and it's very fast paced, bro. Like you don't get a chance to really like um you don't get a chance to understand the characters much. The DMX still needed some acting lessons. He did
Yeah.
a lot better than most actors, but it was good. But Jet Li started off great, and then yeah, man, it's good. I saw it later. I didn't see when it came out. I saw it like a little bit, like 2 years later, and I didn't even remember it, bro. I don't remember a whole bunch of it, and I know why, because I thought it was decent back then, but I saw it again. I was like, yeah, it's too fast paced. No, no real Tom Arnold. Like I couldn't stand Tom Arnold in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
Couldn't stand. I'm not a big fan of Tom Arnold anyway, but yeah, what I did like is they had some UFC fighters when the UFC was still in
Yeah.
its infancy, so that was a good scene. But yeah, man, as far as that, dude, yeah, I agree with Film Fanatic, man. It's DMX, bro. Like, stop, drop, hold on, my freaking Tims, they're gonna fall off. Open up shop, you
Yes.
know. So yeah, dude, that's my first take on seeing it.
Okay.
It's yeah, dude. Yeah.
See, that's the one thing about it. You see it in your youth. Because I know I didn't see it in the theater myself. I saw it on home video, and it's like okay. I saw the so-called. Oh, he disappeared. Okay.
Yeah, I'll be
Um,
back.
he'll be back. No, I saw him in like I said, I saw it on home video, and I didn't think too much about it. So I think like, okay, it's did he? Oh, okay, there he is. Okay, what the hell happened? Okay. No, but anyway, I saw it on home video, and I said because I saw the trailer for it, and I was like, okay, what is this? This seems kind of different, and I don't know if it's gonna be liked or not liked. And I kind of think what you said. It's like it's fast paced, but there's no real way to really generate some kind of empathy for the characters in some sense. And you might get a little, but it's like it's not that kind of picture. And I feel like
Yeah,
that's the overall thing about this picture. It's just popcorn fun. It's kind of like Torque. If you've ever seen Torque with Ice Cube and some other people
yeah,
as in there, bike riders, it's kind of like that. But this one's more. Now, well, that one is like way out there. This one is not as out there as this one, although it does get to some point where it's like it gets into science fiction. That's the thing
yeah,
about
yeah,
it gets. You say you stay with action, then it's like, where the fuck did this sci-fi shit come into play? So, but
yeah.
we're gonna get to that though. Yeah, this film came out in 2003, and like I say, there was a lot of films coming out at that time. We know that the Matrix sequels were coming out. We know the first Pirate of the Caribbean came out that year. I'm trying to think what was something else that came out that year that was pretty flashing, but can't remember. But a lot of stuff was coming out this year, and this one just came out early that February of that year.
Oh, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, that one too.
Yes, a league. Yes, that was a very good one. I like that one for sure. But no, I mean, this film was just uh, one of the category films that came out that year that got you invested enough to say, okay, I'll just go and shoot three of my dollars. Because remember, going back 20 years, if you know the price of tickets these days for films when you go to the theater, yeah, dude, I think the highest you can say was in terms of if you go to if you go to the evening shows, you pay maybe like less than $6. Now it's damn near almost $12 or $13, maybe more.
Yeah,
It's like fuck that, man. But that's the way it was back there 20 years ago. But this is a pretty cool action picture. It's not so much of a like Phil mentioned, it's no grand, gonna win some Oscar, no great directing, no great acting. but it stars these two individuals here, the leads, Jet Li and DMX, one playing Sue, the other one playing Anthony Fate. And we'll hear that a lot in the film where they say, especially Tony saying, when they're doing some job, say faith, faith. So it's just that kind of thing that's going on. But getting to the meat and bones of this film, it starts out pretty much, as any other film will do. It's starting out with it's taking place in Los Angeles, and previous film that DMX was in, which was X and Wounds, which is a pretty okay film. It's nothing to write home about. Stars Steven Seagal and all that stuff. It was filmed in Canada, but this one, excuse me, goodness, okay. Get dry there. No, this takes place in Los Angeles, and what we notice is when we see the film starting, you see this armored car heading somewhere. We don't know exactly where it's going to, and during that time, we're seeing things like the introduction of Dagon's character in the subway, and all of a sudden, this train pulls up, and here comes who else? DMX's character, Fate. We don't know who he is. We just know that they got this baggage. They're going someplace, and they're going underground. At the same time, we're seeing people going where the armored car goes to deliver something, but we don't know what it is. We really don't know what it is, Yeah. But as the story progresses, we see that Tony is pretty much going to do something. He's going to do a job. He's there to do a job, and we don't know what the job is for. So as it progresses, we see that this limo pulling up with Anthony Anderson in there, and then we see that Daria, played by Gabrielle Union, very beautiful woman, and they're going. I mean, they're dropping them off. They're dropping her off and everything. We still don't know what's going on. We know that Tony is about to break into this thing because he's got this welding equipment and everything, and he's talking to this French dude, and that's Christophe. And at the same time, we see that the introduction of Sue, which is Jet Li, he's hearing this through the earpiece, recording all this. So we still don't know what's going on. So to kind of get it ball rolling, I'll pass it to you, pass it to you, Sci-Fi, and see where that story goes from there. And like I say, we'll take it then, pass it on to film, and go from all that.
Yeah, they go through. Jet Li, makes the introduction and everything, and he's doing some crazy shit, man. He's like actually, he's actually going down a building, just literally like using his hands and just jumping like down, like from floor to floor. And I'm like, I just looked at that, I was like, wow, dude, like shit, that my freaking what do you call it, my wrists and hands would have been torn the fuck up. I did that shit, but like I said, it's a movie, man.
Right, yeah, you gotta take a system.
But it is a cool scene that he's doing that, and I was like, well, it's Jet Li, dude. It's Jet Li. He does a lot of his own stunts, so
yeah.
And so he gets to one of the floors, and I guess I don't know if that was the guy that Fate was talking to.
Yeah, that was the guy.
He was probably the supplier or the guy that gave him a price on what the diamonds or whatever he's looking for, or the stones, whatever. And that's what it is. They find out that there's these black diamonds, and Jet Li tries to get exactly. He tries to get out. He tries to get out of this guy. Hey man, where the stones? Well, he doesn't call them diamonds, or he doesn't call them, he calls them stones. So he says, "Where are the stones at? Where are the stones at?" And the guy's just not telling him. And and Jet Li's like, "Well, what the hell am I going to do? What can I do?" So we get to the whole situation where Daria is trying to talk with the security officer, and it turns out homeboy's he's gay. So Anthony Anderson's character comes in and starts I got to flirt with this guy, get him to keep his mind occupied while Daria tries to find another way or do something else. So, and then that while this is happening, they're actually doing the heist. They go under the subway and they cut through the bottom of that floor, cut into that room, and then they have to, and they do the whole thing where they have to actually break the freaking the giant steel lock, like the whole lock. It's like it's just, what do you call those shits? It's a safe. It's a safe.
It's a vault.
Oh yeah, it's a vault. So
Yeah.
call it a vault. It's a safe. So they have to do all this shit, bro. Like all this. It's kind of like it is that part was cool, but I was like, man, really, life that would have taken like a whole day.
Yeah.
But
It's crazy, man. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
But,
it's okay.
no, I
ahead.
would just like piggyback on what you were saying, man. Like how intricate, like to get into the vault, and these guys are doing like, they're putting like liquid nitrogen right
Yeah.
into the vault, and also like, what does he fire? Some kind of like rocket, right?
It's like
Yeah.
it's almost like a grenade. Yeah, like I say, it's like a rocket, but it's not an explosive one. It's just something that pulls the front panel of the vault door off. Which is like
cool.
Yeah, I'm just saying. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, which is cool, but you gotta think about like how much noise it's gonna make.
Well, and see, that's the
in a
thing.
building.
Because as we see it makes a large sound, and Anderson's got to his character's got to make sure the guard doesn't recognize it, because he say earthquake, but then he tells him like, I bet you can knock a 10 out of anywhere, can you, Douglas? It's that repartee, but you see how professional these people are. They're not some one-timers or whatever. They know how to break into something,
Right. And going back to what Daniel was saying about Gabrielle Union trying to get in, talking to the security guard, but she can't use her sexuality because the guy's gay. So they bring in Anthony Anderson. And go ahead from there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and then and like you said, when they did the whole thing of setting up that Gizmo MacGuffin, whatever it is, and like they crack it open. I think she finally gets a way to go in through the elevator, and then because the Anthony Anderson's distracting this dude, and she goes in. Like, okay, now they get it open, and then this is where they hit the jackpot, right? It's nothing but freaking valuables, diamonds, all of that, and they're all looking through it. I mean, like I said, there's so many freaking little slots and little locks, dude. Like how can you, but like I said, it's a movie, right? But they're getting out, they're just, you could tell they're throwing out diamonds, and then that's when you figure out diamonds are not what they're looking for, but diamonds are their money. So yeah, exactly. So their money, but then they find those stones, and they say, okay, this is what we came for. Let's get the hell out.
Yeah.
And Anthony Anderson, okay, man, the shit he was saying, bro, was just funny, bro. Like it was like,
yes.
He was dude, like he's like, yeah, so I like it this way and that way, and what about you, and then I was just, dude, I was laughing, bro. Like it's comic relief. That's what he's there for, because that's what he's known for. Right. But they find out that okay, they got what they came for. They all have the
earpiece,
the earpieces, and then I think doesn't legit
Jet Li calls fate. And
he calls fate, and he's, who the fuck is this? See the thing that I watched it on Bounce, dude. So it was it was the what do you call it? It was the PG version, bro.
Yeah.
So you never. I was, man. I know how many times I would have guessed how many times DMX said "fuck" in that movie.
Yes,
yeah, dude. But that's what I'm saying. I watched that one, so I watched it through a Bounce. I couldn't, I didn't want to, buy it or whatever. Right. So I just saw it on Bounce because I have YouTube TV. Anyways, they do that. They go all this, and then they find out, okay, the cops are coming. Maybe it was him that, maybe it was Sue. Was it Sue that alerted the
911.
Yeah, the
cops.
Yeah, in fact, he did. That's what I was gonna say.
So they have to book it real quick, bro. So they go through the same where they came from, and they have to go through the subway and everything. And the cops already did they're trying to do the secure the areas and stuff, and they're trying to be slick, and DMX is doing this and that, and Gabrielle Union. Well, Gabrielle Union's always been, she's been a decent actress. Not the best actress, but I think she did more of her own kind of stunts and did more like more action oriented in this movie. But I did like how they taking the subway. They shut off all the subway systems and everything, and then they go on top. They go on top, and I think they almost lost the. I mean, they started up the subway and they almost lost the diamonds, but then I think he catches. I
No.
think DMX catches them and he catches her.
Well, I was going to say he catches. She was they was going to grab the bag, but unfortunately they lost the bag. It's like, damn, they lost some money here. You know, I mean, millions of dollars. You know, and that's kind of fucked up because you know it's like they went through all that and they lose the money there. But then homeboy Dragon, you know, he's about to get out of the subway. Sue catches up with him, you know, and starts beating his ass on the tracks and everything. And he figured like, okay, the stones are in that bag. So and it's kind of cool how he gets the bag off of him. You know, he takes this piece of metal, you know, and kind of does this, flips it off of his shoulders, flips it over his head, and catches it. You know, I was like, yeah, that's pretty badass. You know, so all this madness is going on. You know, SWAT is countering the underground subways, everything, and you know, pretty much this is the introduction of this guy here, Mr. Mark, which is Lean.
Mark Dacascos.
Mark Dacascos. How you say his last name?
Dacascos.
Dacascos. Thank you. I mean, because I can't say his name to save a life. But his introduction of him coming into play, along with Kelly Hu's character, I forget what her name is. I don't think they even give her a name in the picture, but she comes in and tells them that the exchange where the diamonds were held, where the stones were held, been robbed, and you know he's saying, well, we have a problem. We don't know what the thing got robbed. We don't know what the stones. And he say, well, hopefully that was the plan, you know. So all this madness is going on. All this is happening. So after, I'm trying to remember, it's like, okay, remember that he got off the plane. So we kind of slow down a little bit and we discover that Fate, you know, whatever he does for a living, he's got enough money to say have a big house, big kind of situation where he got people working with him, blah blah blah. So we find out he has a daughter. You know, he has a daughter, something that's precious to him, and it's a beautiful moment, you know, where he's pretty much telling her, you know, it's time for the bed. She's playing games, you know. That's what kids do, you know. They're gonna do that kind of stuff. So he gives her a diamond necklace, or I think kind of like a diamond necklace. I guess that's what it is, you know, because it's what you call it, not purple, it's kind of
sapphire.
Sci-Fi.
Sapphire, yeah.
Gives to her and just tells, you know, they pray for a second, you know, and gets into bed. So get her to sleep and everything. So he meets up with Daria and, you know, Anthony Anderson's character, and they discuss, you know, and Anthony Anderson pretty much said, should we be making a decision to, you know, find a country that doesn't have no extradition, you know, because y'all just made a big ass, you know, dent in the, you know, place in business downtown. So y'all need to get the fuck out of Dodge right now, you know. So homeboy, you know, he said, this is the only thing we have left, which is the stones. He, while they're discussing this, you know, Dragon's character comes in and he said, well, thank God you're back. But he said, by the skin of my black ass, you know, he said, I ran into this Chinese guy. He busted my earpiece. And he said, well, he took the loot too. And they just like, damn, dude, it's like, we can't win for losing. So while that's going on, we discovered that, you know, Faith is trying to figure out what is going on with these damn stones. What's these black diamonds? We don't know what's going on. So in the midst of this, Lean goes to find where Kristoff is. Apparently we find out that Sue did something to him, because he's just like he's in a kind of state where his head is against this aquarium, you know, and Lean comes in there and said, well, this must be Mr. Kristoff. You know, apparently he's not our first visitors today. And Kristoff, you know, you could tell in his eyes, you know, he's been beat the shit up, you know, because earlier, you know, we mentioned where Sue just beat the fuck out of him. And he said, when Sue asked him, you know, I want a name and a number, and Kristoff says, you know, like I say, Okay, I'll tell you everything. And Sue just without even hesitate said, I know. You know, it's just like he say, yeah, I know you'll tell me because I'm gonna beat the fuck out of you even more if you don't tell me shit. So Ling pretty much tells him, Christoph, like say, whatever you tell me, make it the truth. Because you may not have an opportunity, which means he's gonna kill him anyway. So I'm gonna pass this on to film and take it up from this part after that part where it picks
Yeah.
up at. Okay.
Yeah, man, it's if you're Christoph, man. I mean, that sucks. That sucks for you. Being a middleman, man, that guy had no chance. He's
No.
getting beat up by everybody. Jet Li, Mark, everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And yeah, look at his fate, death.
Right.
Don't be a middleman when it comes to the Blackstones. But anyway, well, anyways, so yeah, after Ling visits Christoph, then you see um Tony Faith go to arms dealer who's played by Tom Arnold. And this
Yes.
fool's introduction is he's coming driving a tank.
Wow.
And I know Sentry, I know how much you don't like Tom Arnold, but his comedic timing was awesome. Just like Anthony Anderson's in this
Yes.
movie. I thought they were funny, man. I think the movie needed it, and they needed Tom Arnold, yeah, to play this character, you know. So Tony talks to Archie, who's played by Tom Arnold, and asking him about the stones, what the black stones, and if he knows anything about them.
Yeah.
So Archie takes a look at him, and he's like, "No, I don't know anything about these black stones, but I do know about other stones,
Yeah.
including his stupid joke about Neil Diamond.
Be a diamond. Yeah.
All these other diamonds, blue, green, yellow, Neil Diamond."
Mhm.
But yeah, so he's Tom Arnold goes and tries to investigate and look into what these stones are. After that, Tony DMX, he goes to Christoph's apartment,
Yeah.
right, and it's dark. He turns on the light and he sees that Christoph is swimming with the fishes, quote unquote.
Literally.
Literally swimming with the fishes, man.
Yep.
You thought he just messed with some Italians, but no, he messed with some Asian guys.
Yeah.
And so he meets Sue there, Jet Li, and they have a conversation. And I know the movie that you were watching, Sentry, was PG, but DMX was like, "Who the fuck are you?"
It's so
and
funny.
and they get a little scuffle, and Jet Li, like you guys were saying how badass he is, he showcases badassery by just fighting with one hand, man. The other hand in his pocket, like
Yeah.
he's just having a walk, on a summer's day through the park, right? And they get a phone call right when they're fighting from Mark Dukakis.
Clean. Yeah.
And you could take it out from there, Daniel.
Yeah. Go ahead. Dave.
No, okay, so they okay, so I lost kind of track.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So basically, Link's telling Tony that those black stones are his.
Okay, yeah.
And DMX is like, "Man, put some money on it. Put some money on the
Yeah,
wood.
put some money on the wood.
What am I, Salvation Army here?"
Yeah. Okay.
He just wants money from the black stones, but which Ling disagrees because it's his. It's his
Yeah,
stones.
he's like, give me a, what do you call it? Give me a price. Give me a price.
Yeah.
Give me a price.
Give me a price. Hurr. Give me a fucking price.
Yeah.
Rough Riders.
Bro, like,
Yeah, exactly.
Rough Riders. What do you call it? It's dark and hell is hot. What do you call it? What do you call it? Dude, but he does the what do you call it? Tells me, give me a price. I'll tell you about the stones. Give me a price. And he's like, nah, don't. Those don't have a price or whatever. He didn't say that, but I know he was implying it. and then that's when I guess he hangs up on him, and then
you might as well stay through it because he threw the damn phone away. He's like, well, like fucking Salvation. I've been busting my ass all night. Got nothing to show for it. He just tells me, he said, you know what, man? It don't matter who the fuck you are. I ain't got nothing for you.
Yeah. And he says it, but I don't got a freak for you. And then, like, in the I got a freak for you, man. Back off.
Like, I swear, man, DMX got some like
that's what he'll say. But
dog Tourette's.
Yeah, right.
So he goes, okay, well, you know, there's he tries to, he doesn't tell him yet, but he's saying like, well, you know what, I know this guy, I know the guy you're talking to. He's like, well, I don't care, you know this guy. Who the fuck are you? And then they Sue doesn't give him much of a, you know, doesn't give him any other information. Just say, well, you know, don't this guy. It's just he's a wrong kind of guy you want to mess with. And then I think that's the part where they go to where gets back and says, I got nothing left. And then I think it goes back to his hideout, DMX, and then he says, okay, let me go talk to Archie, because I don't know why he left them with Archie.
Yeah.
I was like, I do not understand why he left the Stones with Archie, bro. And then they go to, you know, talk with him, and they have this kind of uneasy, like, you know, tension between Sue and Tony, right? Is his name Tony Fate? Is that his name?
Yeah, Tony Fate.
Yeah.
So they go with Archie, right? They go and hit up Archie to see about the Stones, right?
Well, what happens is that when he leaves Christoph's place, you know, he gets chased by these guys that's working for Ling, you know, and they have a scuffle with him.
Yeah.
Right. Then we have the alley scene, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which we talked about before. Which I guess
Oh yeah, it's my favorite.
No, I'll just talk about it a little bit, then I'll pass it back to Film Fanatic, because it's you know, it's the part where they're leaving, whatever, and then those two Asian, is it two kind of Asian guys come up, and then they start scuffling and everything like that, and DMX is like, wow, dude, like DMX is using knees, headbutts, and all this stuff, and with Tim's on, and
DMX Muay Thai,
exactly, with Tim. So I'm like, okay, cool. So so it's you know what, I gotta give some credit to DMX. Like, if that was him, he did a decent job as far as like the action scenes, and because with Jet Li, bro. Even the stunt guys were great. Just I don't know who they are. Usually you would know stunt guys, you would recognize stunt guys, but I didn't recognize who they were. But it was a good scuffle, man. It was a good scuffle. You know, a couple of flips off the wall in Tim's, and freaking one the wall with Tim. But yeah, I'll pass it to Film Fanatic for that.
Before you take it over, Film, I gotta ask, because I know you know martial arts and everything, Daniel. When you see him doing that, I mean, can you say that's actually true martial arts type of moves that he does in this film? Because he did DMX? Something similar in Exit Wounds, so I want to know if
you mean DMX?
Yeah, as far as what he was doing. Because you see him going up against Sue, and I'm just like, is he actually doing something that's actually, you know, real in terms of that?
Well, I mean, the only thing that I can say that he was using that I recognized right away from a person who's not really a martial artist was the way he was using the knees, which is used mostly in Muay Thai.
Yeah. And
usually when you throw the knees out, the Muay Thai knees are not just straight knees. You can do straight knees, but the ones he was using were like kind of like, you bend them to the side. Like, you ever seen kickboxer, right? You know how Tong Po does it to the side. Doing it. You're going with a knee. You're using the knee. You're throwing your foot, the left foot. When you're going to throw a right knee, you use it to add it like that. You're like, boom. You're going like that. So it's more like at an angle. And then you can use Muay Thai knees like directly straight up, but he was using them at an angle. I'm pretty sure Film also noticed and DMX is using them at an angle. Sometimes straight, but more in an angle. So he was probably trained. He was probably taught a little bit when they do the choreography. Choreography, and that's how he did decent knees. But I mean, the thing is, for me, he did a lot of those. Like in this movie, he did a lot of them.
Mhm.
So I was like, damn, like, okay, like it's understandable because he's not a martial artist, you know. He's
And
from
that's what's throwing me off because I'm like, say, some of that looks kind of actually accurate or really
yeah,
something that's real, but I didn't know for sure because, like I say, I don't know myth martial arts or anything like that, and that's why I figure like someone like yourself, would actually recognize some of that stuff if some of that was genuine. Like you said.
yeah. Because knees, he can't kick, so he can't. I mean, obviously he can't kick. He can't, because guys like Jet Li, and right now film will attest to that. He'll let you know about it. Like Kung Fu and Muay Thai, two
Two
totally
different
different types
worlds.
of martial arts. But it's like it's easier for a guy like DMX, like Earl, that to use it because it's easier for him to use, and it's not like high kicking. Because high kicking takes years. Like even when I was in Muay Thai, I trained for Muay Thai like for 2 years, and it's rough, dude. It's rough stretching, stuff like that. High kicking. If you're in Kung Fu right now, when film will talk about it, when he explains Jet Li and when they explain the choreography and the fights, it takes years to get flexibility, man. Like I'm saying, years to get like splits. To be able to do a high kick like Van Damme or even like Bruce Lee
Yeah,
used to do all that, like that takes years of stretching and training, dude. Like to do that, you can't just say, oh, I want to kick high. I want to kick high in a month, in 3 months, in a year.
because
No,
I'm looking at him here and it's just like I can't see him being, I mean, like I say, he probably had training, but I'm looking at him like it's like really this Negro here is able to do that kind of stuff. It's like I don't know. I mean, like I say, unless he's really dedicated to the moves and everything, it's like okay,
if
I
it
can
was
see
Billy
it.
Blanks, that'd be different.
Yeah,
But
right. I was gonna say if it
yeah,
was,
but that's just that was a good question you told me about the kicking like in training because choreography and stuff like that they're always trained or obviously I'm pretty sure DMX had a stunt double, so
possibly,
that's also it. But yeah, but like as far as the fight scenes, we'll leave those to film to so
yeah.
he can explain the difference between Muay Thai or street fighting to actual Kung Fu or
Something
Wing
like that.
Chun or anything like that. You know what I
All
mean?
right. Well, film go back with the alley scene and take it from there, brother.
Wait, what? You guys see DMX and you don't see gymnastics and flexibility and
Look, when he
martial
goes,
arts
look, I'm
expert?
gonna tell you
What
right
the
now.
heck? What are you guys talking about?
Look, when he goes up the wall with them dogs that chase, I was like, okay, dude,
Mhm.
no
Yeah,
way. I'm like, fuck
yeah,
that shit. This is
yeah.
like,
That's Black Spider-Man, man. That's Miles Morales.
I mean, it's like, it's especially like I say, as you said before, there, it's like he's got Tim's on, not laced up, and it's like you really gonna flip up and you're not gonna lose a shoe. Fuck that shit, man.
Stop,
Yeah,
drop, hold
yeah.
on, it lost my Tim's, then open up shop.
Wait a minute now.
Yeah,
Let me unlace my Timbs as I walk on this wall and do a backflip.
yeah, right.
Somebody,
Yeah.
X.
It's like, where my dog? No, where my Tim's at?
Where my backflip at? Where my
Oh.
backflip at?
Oh shit! I got dogs after me.
Yeah, right.
I got Dobermans.
Where my
after me.
dogs at? They're chasing your ass.
But I got my Timbs.
Hey, Earl Simmons, bro.
Hey,
Forget it.
DMX, man, you're one of my heroes,
No,
man.
he
I
was.
love you.
He was.
God bless.
I think he was underrated.
Yeah.
I think he was misunderstood.
My God bless your soul, man.
Yeah.
DMX is like top tier for me, man.
Legend, bro.
I told you like 2000, man. That's who I just listened to. Hype me up, going to work, out to party, go work out. Yeah, it's all about DMX. You know, he's so gritty. Yeah,
At me, dog.
yeah. But I'm glad we have a martial arts expert. Here.
Yeah,
Daniel,
exactly.
so he could really break everything down. But yeah, Jet Li with his I think he has a wushu background. You
Wushu.
could tell by his.
I was going to say, what's his background actually?
Yeah, that's why he's so quick. You know,
Mhm.
his kicks, his flexibility. He's just an all around badass, man.
Because notice that moment where homeboy, is messing with him. And he kind of has his jacket off for a second, then he turns around and just flips it back on. And it's like, oh, okay, this is a bad.
Any movie he does, like when I watch interviews, they always say he's so quick. Like there's times they need to slow it down because like the camera can't catch it. I think especially when he showcased his martial arts and Lethal Weapon. What was it?
Four.
Oh, 4,
Number four. Because
right?
the director even
And
said, they had to slow some of that shit down.
yeah, man.
He's so quick.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
Even if you go watch Romeo You Must Die,
Mhm.
and this is not like his Chinese movies he's done, like
No.
Once Upon a Time in China and all that, man. If you go back to his catalog, yeah, you'll see why, he's one of the best, you know.
Yeah.
And they even reference him as Bruce here, but we'll get to that
Yes.
later.
Yeah.
But yeah, so um, uh, Jet Li and DMX having a scuffle with Ling's uh,
Henchman.
henchmen's,
Henchman,
in
yes.
the alley, to a point that you'll see both of them do like a front kick to both the henchmen, and then look at each other. Okay, all right, let's go help each other. We're partners now. And then yeah, they kick them. They kick these henchmen towards a gated fence, and where Dobermans are let out, and then you see one of the best scenes from this movie, man.
Mhm.
It's highlighted probably in the trailer. You see DMX, walking on the wall, backflipping with his Tims, unlace, Rough Riders.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hey, like I say, you got to have your suspension of disbelief with that, because it's like, yeah, I mean,
man,
here's
it's
a nigga.
awesome, man.
Look, I feel like this. Here's a nigga flying up, doing somersaults, and that's what's going on right there. You know?
Hey, man, yeah, he's a hero of the movie. So,
Yeah. Right.
but I mean, that's his that's his superpower, man. He could do anything with his Tims. Yeah.
No.
But I just before I want to also piggyback on something
Mhm.
that film had mentioned, especially doing the backflips off the wall. Wire work. This is when in the early 2000s wire work became very, very prominent, and like the wire work started, like even with Umbach, and then after that, like Jackie Chan, and even before this, but wire work was already starting to be used a lot in the early 2000s, from the late 90s to the 2000s, early 2000s. And you could tell, I mean, right when he did the flip, I could tell that was wire work.
Oh,
So that's why I was like,
Oh, yeah.
okay, that was good. And it's been a while since I've seen a movie with wire work, aside from like ones like Umbach, from Tony Jaa, or Jackie Chan, and then other films. Which other ones? Oh, Hard Boiled.
Oh yeah.
So that's why, like, it kind of like brought back that, wow, I forgot about wire work. It's been a while since I've seen a movie with wire work, and it's not a lot of wire work. Like, of course, like Mark Dacascos or Jet Li don't need that.
Yeah.
But yeah, but it's good. But I just wanted to mention that. But go ahead, Film.
No,
Keep going, man.
Oh no, man, where was I? So he
like I
does
said,
a backflip, and then Jet Li decides to uh, capture those Dobermans in the car, right? Seeing DMX as bait. So, and then we get Jet Li and DMX going back to Archie, Tom Arnold's place, and they find out that he got robbed. He stated that Wu-Tang Clan came, robbed his ass, and took the black stones. And you know what? Like, Daniel, you're right. Why did he leave all the stones with him? He could have just left half, or he could have just even one. You have to leave all the. It's the movie.
Well, here's just a theory of mine. I'm gonna throw this out there. I figure, like, not Tony, but Archie has the connections of informants that can tell him certain things, because he knew some people in like in the CIA or something like that, and so I think he knows some deep undercover shit, and maybe that's the reason why. But yeah, again, it's like, why would you leave this with this white man?
That's right.
No, though, but Walt, no, I get what you're saying, bro, and I totally agree. But why leave all of them?
True.
There's individual stones. You could have left half. You could have left one. Why leave all of them? You know what I mean? Like, think about it.
I hadn't thought about that either. That's a good question. That's
what I'm saying. That Daniel's a great point, man.
A
Go ahead.
thief, a thief, a thief who's a master thief. You would think he would put half of those in a safe of his own.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
You know,
And
but see, but also Walter does have a good point about Archie because Archie has a fucking tank, bro. He has a fucking
Mhm.
tank.
Well, he's an arms dealer, man.
Yeah, exactly.
He
That's
has
why.
a lot of connections everywhere.
Yeah, but I guess you know, it does still mind boggle me that he has all these connections, he has all this stuff, but yet Wu Tang Clan went and fucking wrecked him and shit, took his shit.
Yeah.
That's still, you know, even though if he had connections, you okay, if you have connections, you have stuff like that. Why don't you hire motherfuckers? Hire bodyguards or some shit like that.
Mhm.
You have tanks, you have this, you have arms, you have DVD players and TVs and all this shit. Like hire people, but it's like I said, you gotta. it's it's a fast paced movie that doesn't give you it doesn't give time for anything to process. If
Yeah.
that makes sense.
No, and I think that's the whole point because it's not meant to do. I mean, we might have a few moments of clarity where certain things come up where characters got to do something that's outside their character, but they have to do it because this moment here where Tony pretty much realized like, well, I don't have the stones anymore; they're gone. So it's like, hey, whatever's done now, it's like, hey, you do what you got to do because here we find out that Sue is with Taiwanese intelligence. He's pretty much, as he said, you got some kind of kung fu James Bond, and he pretty much Sue pretty much tells him, the stones belong to Taiwan intelligence. Like, well, they belong to, and this is where we find out that Tony pretty much says he knows who jacked him for his for the stuff. And it turns out it's his old, mentor, Jump Chambers. He's somebody that's really ruthless, and this is what this is a really bad motherfucker when you're in jail and the inside of your cell looks like living space and in a mansion and everything, and you still got connections outside that where you can do some damage. But at this point he's figured like, well, since Jump has got him, I ain't got nothing else to look forward to, so I'm just gonna go home and say fuck it, forget about it. This is the time. This is where the turn of the tide comes into play. Ling calls him back, and he's like, "What the fuck, man? I mean, what you want now? I ain't got what you want now, so you can leave me alone." Well, Ling knows a little bit about Tony, and he took the most precious thing that he actually owns, which is his daughter, as we mentioned, Vanessa.
Yeah.
And this is where he comes into a like desperation mode here, because it's like, okay, I was just going to walk away, but now you took something of mine where you feel like if I had it, I would give it back to you. But now he's taking that, he's taking his most precious, valuable thing in this life, which makes you wonder. This is why I say character development is not something that's strong in this picture. But this moment here where his child is kidnapped, you think to yourself, you doing all these mundane things of robbing and stealing and whatever. Do you ever stop to think that maybe you should stop doing this shit because you have a kid? Do you ever think about it? I don't think he even thinks about that. I guess like he's figured like, and you got to remember, see, he's like me, back then, you're in your early 30s, you have a young child, you may not even think about along that logical line. But here he's realized, like I say, okay, whatever these stones were, I'm talking, throwing caution to the wind. When his daughter is kidnapped, oh, it's like parental guidance, parental everything activates. It's like, oh, y'all just fuck with the wrong motherfucker now. See, and this is where he's got to find out where these stones are at because Jump has stolen them. He's taken them. So in the midst of that, he has to go to the prison where he's at and everything, And during this time, we see that Ling and his henchmen are hooked up, pretty much at this little like hangar where we don't know what's going on here. We just know that they got his daughter, they hold up here. So, and again, when I said before, where, character development, we see Sue and Tony, kind of bond together and talk about, I have a daughter, And as we find out, Sue has a daughter too. You know, he has child. I mean, I think did he have a daughter? I think it was a daughter.
Yeah, it was a daughter. I think it was a daughter that's
Yeah, 15 years old.
15 years old, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So we know that he has, his own family. He's a father himself, but he knows he has to do things that can prevent her from being in danger himself. Whereas Tony, he's just reckless. He's doing all this mundane, stupid shit, not realizing that it's putting his child in danger. Now he realizes he's got to do something to, kind of rectify all that. So during all this time, he and Sue go to the prison where Jump Chambers is at. So this moment, I'm gonna kick it off to Daniel and just parlay this moment here, because this is I gotta say, this moment here with Jump Chambers, man, it's like it's a mind fuck kind of moment, because he's in, like I say, he's in this cell. It looks like it's two cells put together with a bed, comfortable bed, like a bearskin rug or something like that, and all this shit. And he got somebody serving him breakfast inside the damn cell. So let me let you kick it off with this scene here.
Yeah, no problem, man. I'll do half of it, and I'll pass the other half to film. But it's like he goes in, and I think it's a holding tank. It's actually a holding tank, because holding tanks are a lot bigger than just regular prisons. So it's like a holding tank. Yeah, because I've been in one before. So
see, that's why I'm saying I don't live there.
Yeah, I've never been locked up for a certain amount of time, but I have been in holding tanks. So it's much bigger than a regular jail.
Daniel's a rough rider,
right? Where my dogs at?
Where my dogs at?
Where my dogs at? Get at me, dog.
Yeah, doing backflips off the wall with my Timbs.
Yeah.
And I actually have my Timbs right there. It's a holding tank that has two other separate cells. It has like 4 other separate cells. It's funny. He even has a big ass plant in one of the cells. It's one of the nicer plants, but it's a holding tank. And then he goes in because, like I said, he has a little office table. He's got some guys there. He's got like furniture, all that, like Jedi was saying. And I recognize a guy. He came out in he's come out in a few other movies, but he didn't look as intimidating to me. I was like, I mean, DMX. Well, that's second nature to DMX, going into a prison cell, bro. He's a real motherfucker, bro. He robbed people. Before he became a rapper, he was a real thug, bro. Real thug life shit, Mob Deep shit. But he talks to him, and then he's telling him, you have Daria, that's the girl that I wanted, and you took her from me. It's like he's just adding salt to the wound of what he's always doing stuff. And then he says, "They got my daughter, bro. He's got my daughter, dog. I'm begging you." He's like, he stares at him and says, "Make another one."
He's like,
I was like, "Oh," but he's like, "Motherfucker!" But in the PG, he's like, "Man," like he didn't even it just totally like muffled it. It just muffled it, and I was like, "Oh fuck, man!" See, I want to hear. I want to get at me, dog. Get at me,
right?
But he just tells it, like I said, he's just rubbing in his face and stuff like that, and then he gets mad because trying to tell him where the stones are at. He knows where they're at. He just won't. Say
it out loud.
He's still salty because he has a girl that he wanted.
That Daria, because this is the thing right here too. We realized that Daria, we would never think this, but unfortunately, Daria, it was something we were mentioning before, something about on the side, that Daria used to be a trick,
prostitute.
I'm trying to be nice when I say it, but yes.
Turn tricks.
Turn tricks. That's what I mean. Yes, that's what. Yes, thank you. Yeah, correct.
See, the trick, like I'll just clarify. The trick would be, say she's with you, you're her trick.
Okay.
So it's like she said, "Oh, well, you know what? Hey, baby," he said, "Come here, trick. Yes, zip up my dress and zip up the dress to the back. Would you mind, trick? Would you mind doing? That's a trick." So she used to be she used to be probably an escort to make it seem more civilized.
But I was gonna say,
that I figured that right away. But he said like what's his name said, Jump said he took you took her. She was my favorite. Now, and then but you took her away from me. So that's where he just keeps like not taunting, more than taunting him, just telling him.
Yeah, I was gonna say not taunting him. He's more like just like
even with the shoes, like don't be stepping on my fucking carpet with your shoes. No. I was like, oh, come on, dude. I was like, DMX, bro, was like, they should have that freaking whole thing should have been reversed. The role should have been reversed. But anyways, I'll pass it on to films so we could take it from there when he was talking.
You could tell he has like he's just pissed, Jump Chamber's just pissed because DMX took Daria from him, his lead quote unquote trick, right? That made the most cash. Now, of course he's gonna feel bad, and that's why he's fucking with him. He's just fucking with him through this whole scene, and he's trying to, alpha him and just mess with him. But when he gets to DMX, when it comes to his child, that's important, and he's to the point that he's like, I'm begging, I'm begging you, and then Chambers has his guy there, making him food, and he's all like, yeah, let me get at him. And Jet Li just kicks him one time. He's out cold. And then after, when they leave, Jump just looks at the guy laying on the floor, is like, pussy.
But you know what it said? You know what it said in the freaking, and you know what it said in the PG version?
What does it say?
Wimp.
Of course it did. Of course it did.
Naturally, I mean, that's like, okay, that's good. That's effective.
I was like, you gotta be kidding me, man. Now I wish I would have just saw the rated R version.
Whip.
Anyway, keep going.
Yeah. So, so DMX and Jet Li leaves Jump Chambers. What is it? Where he's in jail, in prison.
It's a prison, but I mean, I will say it's
yeah. I don't know if a quick side note. I don't know if you guys noticed, like Jump Chambers had 2 bodyguards,
on the outside
outside of his outside of his cell, and one of the guys he's like that black guy from Underworld.
Yes, I was gonna say he's a
Kevin Gorvo.
Yeah. I noticed him. Like, that's the guy from Underworld, man.
He's a co-creator. He's a co-creator of Underworld, actually.
Right.
Because I was gonna say I was gonna say that film came out the same year as this film. That's the other word. Yeah, that was the other.
Did it?
Underworld. Yes, Underworld came out in 2003.
That's awesome. Yeah. Well, anyways, I know we're fans of Underworld, and I thought you guys would enjoy that.
But I did. But it's good you bring that up because, like I say, there are so many films legendary, especially come out that would become legendary later on, and it's like Underworld was definitely one of. And that's kind of funny. He was in this film because he didn't really have no speaking part. Although when you hear him speak, you never forget it because he talks really low.
Yeah, you think you think DMX had a gritty ass voice, man. That guy, right?
He's like
deep,
6'4", too. Like 6'4". Yeah.
I'm just gonna say he sounds like a fucking werewolf, a real werewolf.
Right? Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, so DMX and Jet Li leaves Chambers' place, and DMX, he gets his gut feeling that he knows where the stones are, so they head to the club. I think is it Jump's club? Initially?
It's Jump's club because he had mentioned
Jump's club, but it's run by someone else since he's in jail, right? Yes. So that's where they head to, and while this is going on in Ling's HQ, they get a delivery, equipment per se. I don't know if he's a scientist. I don't know what the guy is, man. But anyways,
yes, it's the egghead. This as you say, geek. There's that ball guy.
Yeah, some I'm gonna just say scientist or whatever, right? Okay. And, is handling this equipment, and he gets into it with one of the henchmen. I don't know what they have going, but they get a little verbal altercation, and then Vanessa's making all this noise in in the van where they put her in, right? And the henchman opens the door, and Vanessa like hugs him, and eventually like kicks him in the nuts, and
Yep.
gets away with the key somehow. Wow, this girl's awesome, man.
It's
Yeah,
resourceful. Yeah.
don't ever do. Yeah, very resourceful, and don't ever give up.
Mhm.
And yeah, so she drives away, not away, should I say, but drives around the warehouse where they're at, and yeah, she ends up
I gotta
getting
say
out.
that's. I mean, you look at this. I mean, to me, I ain't gonna say that doesn't take me out of the film because kids, if you're desperate, if you like I say, trying to get away and do something, you will because you see how she tapes a soda can to the accelerator to get out of there, to drive away. It's like,
Yeah,
hey, do what you got to resourceful for, do
yeah.
what you gotta do.
Wish I thought you needed when you were driving here in San Diego for the first time in the freeway.
Really? The way I was what I call defensive driving. That's what I was doing. That's what it was.
No, but I
And
got
what's
you
funny,
all. I
and
got you all.
what's funny is once I was on my last day there with the car, I actually got used to driving,
Well,
like everybody else. I was like, damn, if I stay here for another week, I'd be driving like these crazy
and
fools.
that's how Jedi Granville became an expert in the San Diego highways here.
There you go.
So, there you go. Never give up.
It's like never give up, never surrender.
No retreat, no surrender.
Well, I'm quoting
Yeah.
Galaxy Quest.
Yeah. That night I was thinking to myself, like, yeah, ride or die. I'm
Ride or
either gonna
die.
ride with these fools or we're gonna die all together.
Oh, shit. But yeah, they
Anyways,
go
so
ahead.
I'm sorry, Walt.
No, you go
Uh,
ahead. You keep
no,
saying
no. So yeah, then we get up to this scene where Daria goes to the club,
it. Mhm.
and tries to, what would we say? I don't know,
Well,
like
kind of
trick, quote unquote trick.
yes, there
Uh,
you
There's
go.
a
one,
turn to trick.
yeah, there you go. One of jumps the guys who's running the club. I don't know his name.
I think in the movie
Uh,
it's
Yeah,
Odin. I think
he's
it's
been in a few other other films like that.
he was in
let's
a
see. His
Yeah, like
name in real life is Michael Jace. I mean Jace, but in the movie it's Odine. Odine, something like
Diane,
that.
yeah,
Dion,
yeah. Well,
Dion,
anyways,
Dion. Yeah, Odeon,
yeah.
Odeon.
So she tries to trick him,
Mhm.
to
And let me just share this moment here. This is exactly what goes down. you know,
See, she's one of those. She was one of those girls. I mean, a lot of girls back then were really slim, but she was not a lot of like the black ladies, the beautiful black women were mostly thicker than she is.
yeah.
But I guess she was more of a slender type of person. You know what I'm saying? And she looked good. I mean, she
Oh
was in
no.
shape. Obviously, she was in shape. Obviously,
Oh,
but
she was
yeah. She
but
looked younger for her age, I think, too.
yeah, because
You
yeah,
know,
she's like I say, she's a little younger than me, but not that by much though.
yeah.
yeah,
You remember her? I think she was in Bring It On,
Yeah, when she was
yeah,
that
right?
was the first
oh,
time I
yeah,
was introduced to her. I didn't know who she was until I saw that film. I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
this is.
Yeah, but go ahead, go ahead, film my bad.
yeah. So while that's going on, you got Archie with Jet Li.
Mm-hmm.
They go into the underground fighting.
Yes,
Who
this
I
underground
think
fight club.
yeah. I think it's, is it in the same club? I
Oh no,
wasn't sure.
this is a different part of town. That's where it's at.
Oh, it's a different part of town. Yeah. So yeah, they know Archie, so they wouldn't even let him in.
Yeah.
But so he uses Jet Li and let him know that, yeah, I got a fighter here. You know,
Mhm.
So that
Because the whole
actually
purpose
helped them.
why they go to this place is because one of the guys that held him up, Archie, he said he recognizes that he wore this ring that could
That's
probably,
right, the pinky ring,
yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. And which the guy is there, um, placing bets and watching the fights go down.
Yeah.
And so they get in, knowing that Jet Li is willing to fight in the cage matches.
Mhm.
So they get in there, and it's crazy, man. It's all bloody and gritty, and the audiences are crazy. It's like a
They're bloodthirsty if you think
yeah,
about it.
they are, man. They're bloodthirsty, throwing
Yeah.
money, around, and if you notice, if you're a UFC fan, you'll notice like some of these fighters are real UFC fighters, like Chuck Liddell,
Because I was gonna
Tito
say, I'm
Ortiz.
thinking you guys would probably recognize some of these
Oh
guys.
yeah, I
Yeah, and
recognize.
they're actually fighting. The first fight when you get in there, they're fighting each other. Chuck Liddell and Tito Ortiz, and knowing these guys, I thought they didn't like each other, but money talks. When you got a job, you got to feed your family, and um, yeah, so they showcase the underground fighting and no holds bar, and you see that I think
Yeah.
Randy Couture is one of
Yeah.
the fighters,
Sure.
right? Uh, Next on the card, and Jet Li's up, number 12 fighter,
Mhm.
and Randy Couture, he's like, "Get your ass in here," And I actually saw an interview of Randy Couture in regards to that scene
Mhm.
um, of fighting Jet Li. He accidentally punched Jet Li in the face because
Oh.
because when they called action, he was supposed to like wind up, to let Jet Li know that he's gonna punch him, but he did it. He just punched him quick, fast, and Randy Couture said, that's how I punch naturally. But
Hmm.
he was like, he was told like, not in these movies, man. You got to wind up.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he hurt Jet Li or not. So, but that's what he said in the interview.
So Couture actually hit him.
Yeah, in the face.
Oh
Wow.
shit.
That's what he said. That's what he said in the interview.
Okay.
Oh wow. And Jet Li wasn't
Yeah.
mad or nothing.
I don't know. They did not say.
Well, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Well, to get to that point, I mean, I'll add on that, my brother.
Yeah, go ahead.
They Jet Li does know, like he knows the difference between actual real fighting and what he does. What he does is traditional martial arts, which people, even people like me, like I said, at that time during that part of 2003 was when I was barely starting to start training slowly into MMA.
Right.
But the thing is, um, like Jet Li, and what people don't understand, people just think, like even now, people who are younger now, and a lot of, see, because now everybody knows about MMA, everybody knows about UFC, everybody knows about that. But back then, at this time, they still called it NHB. They didn't call it MMA. They call it NHB, which is no holds barred. So they call it,
okay.
but they call it NHB, but still for the UFC or for Pride Fighting Championships, they had rules, but they still called it NHB. It wasn't until maybe 2 years after, maybe 2005, was when they started calling it MMA, mixed martial arts. So and another thing, Jet Li, dude, and a lot of people don't understand this, and the younger people don't understand this, especially the younger, the generation now. Um, the martial arts that Jet Li trains, Jackie Chan, Bruce Lee, even Van Damme, all those guys, Mark Dacascos, all the legends, that we know as far as martial arts. All those guys know deadly martial arts that they know is dangerous. Doesn't I don't care what anybody says, it's dangerous. Just the difference between that is those Jet Li and those legends are trained through traditional martial arts. MMA is totally different. MMA, you usually just taught either kickboxing, Muay Thai, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu. So those are the only kickboxing, wrestling, and jiu-jitsu are the only ones that are utilized now. There's only those three that are
Just in
utilized.
the Miss Martial Arts.
Yes, mixed martial arts. Those are the only ones that are really used. They don't even do sparring. A lot of these MMA fighters don't even do sparring anymore because they're too afraid to get hit or knocked out. So they don't really spar. And
Quick question to ask you, real quick. When you and I met TJ Storm, because he knows martial arts and everything. Does he know certain as far as those kind of techniques that
I'm
Jet Li
sure.
showed?
I'm sure any modern martial artist now has trained in some form of mixed martial arts.
Okay.
Like modern, like I'm saying, like the last 10 years,
Yeah.
like anybody, I even know people. I even know now that somebody here knows something now of at least jujitsu, boxing, or any kind of thing like that. But see, because the reason why now is because it's everywhere. It's all
Yeah.
over the place. During 2003, when all this is going on, like it was still a spectacle. It was not. It was not regulated, and it was not allowed. It was banned in a lot of states. It was a ban. It
Mm.
was banned in a lot of the United States. New York didn't want it. A lot of LA didn't want it. It was only mostly just in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. Because
That's why.
I know I'm going to get off topic, but mixed martial arts, or just before it was no holds bar, it started like what, back in the 80s or like 70s, or when did
You
it?
the UFC started. I mean, well, we can just before, like I said, I'll just go. I'll take it to this because I know Film Fanatic knows about this.
Okay.
Kickboxer, kickboxer with Van Damme.
Yeah.
It's based off of a guy named Frank Dukes, who's a real. Actually, it's actually based off a true story.
Oh yeah, I know you. It's
Yeah,
is that
yeah.
blood sport or just
Yeah,
kickboxing?
yeah. The Kumite.
I think it's Bloodsport.
Yeah,
That's what I
yeah.
thought.
No, I'm sorry, not kickboxer. Bloodsport. Yeah, it
Yeah.
was Bloodsport and the Kumite. That was, I think, before, even before MMA,
That's what I
even
thought.
before mixed martial arts or cage fighting.
Mm.
And like, or the first UFC was in 1992 or 93.
Okay.
But that was the very first UFC when it was everybody against. It was all styles against all styles.
Mm.
It wasn't until 98 or 99 when the UFC actually got purchased by another subsidiary, and they actually started training more of everything. And then that's when it became mixed martial arts. But no, it started in 1992 was when it was getting off there, but they still didn't have, like, they still had the Kumite back then. And the Kumite was something people would go to. It was like no holds barred. So
Mm.
that was before that. If it's real, but he said it's real based off a true story of Frank Dukes.
That's what I
So
heard. Through
yeah,
this.
so yeah, but as far as MMA didn't make MMA was barely still in its infancy in 2003. It was only seen on pay-per-view, nothing but pay-per-view, and it was only mostly in Las Vegas because a lot of other states didn't allow it. A lot of states where it was banned.
Okay.
So I just, I
Right.
would just like throw that information out there
Well,
because
that's why I asked, because I mean, I figure you might know for sure, and then that's the kind of stuff that you hear about, and don't really know how it got its infancy and how it really went up there. Because I mean, because like I say, you hear about it, but it's like it seems like this has been around for a minute. But I mean, when did it really take its, like just get out there? Because like I say, in this picture, you see it like say dudes are like big and brawly, and then you see Jet Li, he's this like 5 foot something, and I was like, he's gonna take on all these guys. So I was like, it had to start somewhere, and I'm just trying to figure out exactly when did it take place
well,
now.
like I said, I'm going to pass it back to film. Um, 20 years, bro. 20 years it's a lot of shit can happen in 20 years, bro. So it's been 23 years. So it's been 23 years. So MMA evolved, and the guys that are in there, Randy Couture, Chuck Liddell, Tito Ortiz, those guys are already retired, and all of them are champions. All of them were UFC champions.
Yeah, they're legends, man.
Yeah, they're
In
all
the
they're all
UFC.
a part of they're all a part of they're in the, what do you call it, the UFC. They're all Hall of Famers, so they're all in.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah,
correct me
okay,
if
go
I'm
ahead.
wrong though, Daniel. Like
So,
back in the days in the UFC, like if I remember, they didn't even have a weight class because you had Gracie fighting some like 200 plus guy, right? And not until he gets him on the ground and he submits him in his jiu-jitsu hold, yeah, he just gets
yeah,
beat up.
yeah, there
Yeah,
was no,
right.
yeah,
There
the
was
first,
no weight class.
yeah, the first few they were only on VHS, bro. They never went to TV or anything like that. They're only on VHS. There was no weight classes, and the fights can go. There was no weight classes, no time limit.
Right. So you would see it would definitely look like blood sport.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, it definitely looked like Bloodsport because you got like There's no weight class. You get a big guy fighting a smaller guy. It doesn't matter, right? It's just the ranks. And man, they didn't even have a clock back then. I didn't
There was
even
no
know.
time limit.
Damn,
I was gonna say,
okay.
I was gonna say
Wow.
that's why I was thinking like it's
Mhm.
Fight Club, but it's like it has no
Mhm.
so-called ding ding kind of thing going on there.
Yeah.
And it's brutal. Do you see the first few? Some fucking dudes get teeth knocked out. A sumo wrestler got freaking the shit beat out of him. He was like 6'4", 400 pounds, and he got his ass beat by a smaller guy. And
Mhm.
like you got you had one guy with a freaking Gracie freaking submitted everybody. Dan Severn, Ken Shamrock, Kimo Leopoldo. He submitted everybody, dude. Like he fought everyone. Tank
Yeah.
Abbott.
Yeah, Royce Gracie, man, he put jiu-jitsu on the map for sure.
Yeah.
Brazil,
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
for sure.
But there was no. But yeah, to answer your question, brother, no, there was no weight classes, no time limits until probably 90
Mhm.
until I think the third or fourth. I think it was the fifth event where they started to add weight limits because the fighters were starting to adapt little by little, and they would have time limits, but the time limit was only timed by how long they went. It wasn't timed on a specific time limit.
Yeah, so there's no rounds.
Yeah, no rounds.
Crazy.
Yeah. So
Yeah. Talk about brutal.
Mhm.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So going back to the movie.
Yes.
So yeah, with these UFC legends, um, you get Jet Li fighting in the cage, and he gets surrounded by all these fighters,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he just picks them off one by one. But in real life, one punch, he's dead.
I think
These
so.
guys,
He,
you know.
he attests to this. So it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, I mean, I might know some moves, but it's like I get hit by these guys. Like, yeah, I'm gonna be in an ambulance. He
Yeah,
said it.
for sure, for sure. I think even beforehand, like he uses the ring announcer as a small
Yeah,
person. He uses him as a weapon.
yeah. He headbutts the other
Uh,
guys. Like, put me
yeah.
down. It's like and this is the line where he says, "Put
Yep.
me down, I'll kick your ass, Bruce." It's like, really, dude, seriously.
Jelly's like, I am not Bruce.
Yeah. And do you know that dude right there, that little dude, he would be, I mentioned before, he would be in Pirates of the Caribbean later that
Mhm.
year. It's so
Yeah.
funny. He would play Marty in the movie. So yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So what happens after that?
Well, like I say, they get into the fight, but remember, going back to the club, Darius is distracting not the owner, but the guy that's
who's running? Yeah, who's running the club?
running the show. Yeah, he's distracting in a very good way. And remember, this is a moment too. Before this, we see Anthony
Anthony
Anderson's
Anderson.
character
Right.
coming in as a bug guy, and he's got to go into the room where the stones are at, but because he doesn't know where they're at, he just knows that he needs to put them, do this distraction and say where could they be at exactly. So he has to shit talk this dude, to get inside the club, do all these things. And during this time, it's funny as hell because he's in this truck and he tells homeboy, homeboy asks him like, "You're not fucking with me, are you?" And he says, "Look, you see that little motherfucker up there on the top of the truck? That's me. That's me." And if you think about it, you look at the damn thing, it almost look like a caricature of Andy Anderson's character as the character. That's so damn funny. It's like, this is why I say it's humor that's gelling well in these moments here. You got to just ride with it, But with that going on, he tells the dude, "Take me to a small room or office or whatever, and I'll lay some stink bombs or anything like that for some infestation and everything." And this is to get anyone that's coming inside not to come inside. This is where Tony and his homeboy are going to go into this break into the office, and they break in, and homeboy says that, "You crazy, good, you see how Jump I mean, that jump. You see how, well, I say Tony jumped out off the side of the building and just goes flying through the damn window. I was like, okay.
Sorry, keep going.
Yeah, but but homeboy tells me like, you're crazy, and Tony pretty much says like, I'm a father, letting him know it's like, this is what a parent does when you love their kids,
Right.
So
I don't care if I'm going to make all these noise propelling from this building to this window.
Yeah, if I got to play Tarzan, I will do that, So in the midst of all this, he like I say, Darius doing her thing, distracting homeboy, and they get inside. They have this special gun which it shoots, it shoots armament, but it's not the kind that's explosive. It's just enough to make a dent into the safe that he thinks is where the stones are at, and they're not there. And he tells homeboy just to go, just get out, and homeboy hears him, the one that's being distracted by Daria, he said, and when he's, I gotta give it to Gabrielle. She gets down to her lingerie, no top and everything, and you don't really see nothing, but it's like, damn girl, you going all the way here, to make sure this works. But then again, she was somebody who, did this for a living, so I guess it didn't feel unnatural to her. I'm talking about the character anyway. I don't know how Gabrielle Union felt doing that scene. Anyway, he hears something, he's like, what was that? And he looks at her, it's like, you got to see an old friend, and just, no pun intended, bitch slaps her ass, now. So when this is going on, he tells homeboy to get out. I mean, Tony get out. Tony tells Dragon to get out, and his henchman comes in, try to, gang up on him. I gotta give Tony. I mean, I gave it to Tony, boy. He taking out all 3 or 4 guys at the same time. Then Overdine comes out and just pistol whip his ass, just knocks him out. So, okay, takes him downstairs. The cops come and takes him away. He gets, treated for a head injury and everything. So here is where chaos really ensues right here. We're still on the level of just plain old action. Where are the stones? Blah, blah, blah. Okay. Where you picked up where we're doing the MMA fighting thing, the fight scene film. This is going on, but here Chambers, I mean not Chambers, but Tony escapes. And how does Tony escape? Let me give it to you, Daniel, so you can take it from there. What happens here? This is where action just ensues.
Rough Riders.
Right? It's like, this is gonna rock. This is gonna roll.
Drop. Put him down. Open up. Drop. Whoa. No.
Whoa.
Let the Rough Riders roll.
I'm like, dude, you see the trap.
Yeah,
and I love how that song just comes on and just get you motivated,
Rough Riders, bro. He was rough riding, bro. He
did rough ride because he gets out of his cuffs and he sucker punches both the cops, and he sees a 4x4 on some dude's trailer.
It's an ATV, yeah.
ATV. I'm sorry, my bad. Yes. Yeah. See, that's why I say you guys know this shit better than I do.
I think it was part of his contract, man. DMX is like, I'm not gonna do this movie unless you put ATV in it, with me right in it.
Yeah, a quad, or call it a quad.
Or quad, yeah.
Well, yeah, quad. Homeboy, homeboy said, he's like, that dude's got my fucking quad.
Yeah.
Get that motherfucker. This guy's,
in real life, man. I mean, this quad is probably like turbocharged.
That's the thing I have to ask. I don't know nothing too much about quads, or anything as far as dirt riding or anything like that. The shit that this damn thing does, can y'all honestly say that's? I mean, I know it's in the film, and you're supposed to be with, but in real life, is that even possible with some of that shit?
Mean, bro, like, me either. I'm not an expert, but use your common sense, man. A quad, and the guy's like chasing him with a dirt bike, and it's and he's like, getting away from him. Nah, man. You know how heavy a quad is compared to a dirt bike?
Yeah, right? That's what I'm talking about.
How fast a dirt bike is. So,
I mean,
that quad is turbocharged, man. But it's a movie. It's a movie. So
yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with film. I mean, it's I mean, can a quad go up a flight of steps? Absolutely.
Yeah.
It does. It does. But another thing is too, like if you guys watch the videos, man, of like because back then, like in when DMX was hot, bro, like there was Rough Riders, bro. They had people in New York
Hmm.
and all over, probably all over the East Coast, probably West Coast too, that rode quads in the street.
Yep.
And
Yeah, his videos. That's right.
yeah, it's not just quads. Like Rough Riders was real, bro. That was real shit.
Yeah.
And like they had not just they didn't just have those. They had ninjas. They had Kawasaki's. They had
Hmm.
sports bikes. They had they had those real fucking fast crotch rockets, like all that shit, dude. And
That
Yep.
was a thing because that
Pocket
was a
rockets.
thing back in the early 2000s, wasn't it?
no,
Doing
I
that.
was since the 90s. Since
Oh,
the
it was. Oh, okay. I didn't
it
know.
was
So,
the late 90s. It was like the late 90s, and because remember the anthem, Rough Riders anthem, that one was like in 98. So because Dark
yeah.
and Hell came out in 1998.
Okay.
So yeah, that and you see the videos, bro. Like that's real shit, man. That's real shit. Even Eve from Rough Riders, she did that shit. She wore a quad.
Yeah.
Even when she did that video with Gwen Stefani. Gwen Stefani was on a fucking quad. So it's like it was a style thing. It was the in thing at the time.
It was the
So
image that was being
yeah,
brought out.
and yeah, dude. I mean those are fast, bro. Like if it's the ones for the freaking, those are the ones they use for the Outback and shit for like the fucking for like off roadings, dude. Those are fast, bro. Don't think they're not. I mean, they're not. It seemed a little like Film was saying. It seemed a little faster than just a freaking regular quad. But I
Yeah.
mean, that shit was fast. I mean, yeah, they probably souped it up maybe a little
I
bit
would think
more.
they would have to because of
Yeah,
I
but
mean, the way they're getting away, and like I say, getting, I mean, what you say, getting up the stairs, but doing the stunts that they was doing, especially which I know they had to really, do some special wire work or whatever, going through the window through the top of the building and jumping down. It's like, yeah,
oh yeah, dude. Like if that stunt guy freaking if that stunt guy did not have a piece of glass or cut himself, dude, then that's not real, bro. Because that
Yeah.
that if you're going through a glass, I mean, pretty sure they use a different kind of glass, but I mean, you got to get some kind of scratches, some kind of shit like that.
Yeah.
But
There's not. I don't think it's real glass. You know
no,
that's what I'm
I think
saying.
what they're
so.
using, but you know what? Like, you know, I agree with everything you're saying, but man, it still looked good, right?
Oh
It
no,
looked
that's
great. It looked great. They did a great job. They did a great job with
Was
that scene, that chase scene.
it was one of the best. That chase was one of the best parts of the movie.
It was really good.
it was.
Yeah.
I
It
like
was that was a
Yeah.
like I said, that was that added some joy to the lackluster movie, and
Yeah.
not everything
Yeah.
was lackluster. Not everything was lackluster, but it added some, like I said, it added some fuel to amp it up.
Yeah.
And, yeah, dude, but yeah, it's a part of his image as a Rough Rider, So that's
Okay.
what we put
Yeah.
it in. I think,
It
So
has
it
to be
wasn't
in the movie.
necessarily an accident seeing him. I mean, it's something to get away on and everything, but it's like at the same time, it's like, yes, we're seeing a actual, like I say, not thug, but former thug who's a hip hopper on a quad, and it's like, yeah, this is in the film, and then, like I say, the whole atmosphere is like we're mixing hip hop with martial arts culture, and it's in this film, so it's like, yeah, we got to put that in there.
Yeah. It's just like, watching a movie with Jet Li and what? He's not doing any martial arts? It's Jet Li, you know?
Yeah,
So the same thing, if you see DMX in the movie, you gotta see some quads,
gotta see some
you gotta
quad.
see some Tims,
Yeah.
backflips off the wall. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's in his nature. You know what I mean?
Okay.
baggy jeans in 2003, bro. I was like, because even since that I knew of shit, baggy jeans weren't much of a thing anymore after 2000. But I mean, but
Yeah.
still, it's an image. It's an image it's like an image that people keep. It's not that they're staying in a different era. It's not that they're
Mhm.
staying in the era they grew up in. It's just that's what they like. That's what they're used to.
Yeah.
That's how they grew up. They're not.
Yeah.
They're like me, dude. I'm 45 years old. I still wear baggy jeans. I still wear solos. So it's like I just don't like like super tight like pants. That's just me though. I'm not saying it's a bad thing, but
Right.
It's crazy that all that stuff is coming back though, Daniel.
oh yeah,
Like baggy clothes, baggy shirts, baggy jeans. It's all come back, History repeats itself. It's crazy, I'm seeing all these
true.
kids wearing. I'm like, dude, I used to look like that in high school. That style is like what I used to wear. Yeah.
But it's not a
But
bad thing. I mean, it's not a bad thing at all. It's just it's like I said, it's a part of an image that people keep. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean,
yeah.
that even me, like even to a point where I was, it's a good thing I kept all my old school shit, my old school pants because I bought two pairs of pants and they were like the not like skinny jeans, but they were the ones that like they fit you like they fit you snug, but not
Yeah.
like not huggers, but they fit you snug. And I had to wear those, and I was like, "Fuck, man, wearing these pants, you got to get used to stuff like that." But it's like, but the good thing is, I found a place here where they sold solos. You remember solos with baggy jeans? Like
Very
they
solos.
bought some pair. I bought two pairs. And like, fuck, dude, I love these because I can breathe. It's like I like it. It's just it's like wearing jogging pants. Like I love
Mhm.
wearing jogging pants. You want to be comfortable, but
Yeah.
it's like everybody. But I said
Yeah.
it's like film said. I saw some when I go to because I live next to a school. I saw kids with the super baggy jeans again. I was like, oh shit! So they're bringing it back. Even the shred ones,
Yeah.
the shred ends of it, like the skaters, like I used to wear, they shred them at the edge.
Hmm.
They're bringing it back, man.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead and where because, like I say, all this is going down. We see that DM. I mean, like I say, Tony is making his escape. At the same time, Sue's kicking a lot of ass. He's pretty much dominating
Mhm.
the scheme, and people in the audience is going ape shit over all this. But he eventually wins. I mean, it's by the skin of his ass. By basically, and you see that one dude. Down there. He said, come on down. Because they break the
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 cage.
fence or the
yeah,
cage.
the cage down, So he's like he jumps out and he pretty much like I say, gets out of there and walks away. And while Tony is, making his escape because he gets out while the cops catching him, Sue goes back to the garage where he's parked at, and we see Archie sitting in the limo of one of the henchmen. And he said, because he bet that's another thing, he betted on the white guy first with the money that he had, but then he took that same money and bet on Sue to win. And he said he got a clump of money in his
Yeah.
hand, thanks, man. And then he reveals the ring that Homeboy was wearing that he found. He say, "You like my ring?" He say, "Where is it?" Well, open the door. So he opens the door, and he tells him like, "It's a good thing I brought my stunger." He said, "All right, buddy, you ready for the Q&A? Where you put the stones at?" So here comes from this moment we jump to back to Jump, where Ling is in the his cell again. So film. Let us know what happens here. It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Oh yeah. You see Jump, complaining to his guy over there in the corner. Is like, hey, where's my butter?
Yeah, it's like
To go with his lobster,
mm-hmm.
and they're just arguing. You know, um, about the stones, right? And then, uh, oh, what's his name? Ling. He
Yeah.
yeah, he kills off the uh his is it his bodyguard per se, or it's just like his
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 cook or chef or whatever you want to call
yeah.
him. He's
Yeah,
yes,
his help. We'll just
yes,
say his
yeah.
help. Yeah,
Mhm.
man, just freaking like stabs his fool in the side of the neck with the lobster.
With a lobster hand. It's like yes, and this is the moment
Oh
here.
my,
It's like
yeah. You look at that, man. Look at that pose. He's like he
yeah,
just landed, like a
superhero
superhero
landed.
pose.
Yep.
Just landed on the guy's neck. Look at him.
I was like,
I'm not
dude.
fucking with that guy.
I mean, you kill somebody with a lobster, dude. It, like you're a badass when it comes to that.
Yeah, especially you're wearing a freaking leather suit. Man, I'm
Mm-hmm.
not messing with you. Yeah.
And
Yeah. Then
you see he knocks out the Jump, but I mean, you go
yeah,
ahead.
then you see, yeah, evidently, you see Jump like, knocked out, but Ling stabbed him in the back of the neck.
Mm-hmm.
That's how he kills him. And then um, after that, you see the whole gang, uh, DMX and his crew, including Archie and Jet Li, in front of the club, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And yeah, so they try to get in the club. Uh, and th- this is where they found the stone, right? In one of
The
the
one
rooms
stone.
where the one stone that was left, and I think it was a jacuzzi where the ball is that
Yeah,
Anthony
Everybody
Anderson
was
was
dead
making
too.
fun of,
Everyone's
right?
dead.
yeah. Everyone, I was
Yeah,
gonna say, no one's at
yeah,
the
yeah.
window with the door.
All jumps Cruz dead on the ground, and yeah, he finds that one stone, and um, while this is going on, Ling, you see Ling leave Jump's place, and he tells his bodyguards, hey, you know, he just wants to, you know, just want it quiet, peace and quiet in there after he kills them. So don't go in there. And yeah, so DMX, man, like he's so pissed, like he gets that ball and like throws it to the wall,
Those-
and he's like so pissed that how is he gonna get his daughter back? How is he gonna get Vanessa back? And meanwhile, Vanessa's in that van.
Mhm.
She finds like I think it's maybe a emergency cell phone that uh,
Yes.
the previous owners put in there if for emergencies when they're camping. So she uses that phone. Yes, it's on low bat, but she actually gets a call out to her father, DMX, and you know lets her know that she's still alive, but uh, does not know where she is.
Yeah.
Does not know, yeah,
The
where she's
location.
at. So the location.
Mm.
And while this is going on, um, you get uh, ch- the professor guy. He sets
Yes.
up all his machinery and tech, and this is where we find out that these stones are not diamonds at all. These are not black diamonds. These are synthetic. What is it?
But
They're
Plutonium.
plutonium.
Synthetic plutonium. Right. Yeah. And so, and they're having like an auction off. These higher bidders.
yeah,
Getting
these
yeah.
arms. I mean, arms dealers or whatever you want to call them.
Yeah, right. So I'll pass it off to you guys.
Mhm. Well, well, like I say, let me just kind of fill in the blank. It's yeah, these stones are basically synthetic plutonium. They're not nuclear, but very lightweight, and they can carry around. But from what has been told, this guy or anyone can literally release the power that they create. You know, they are so powerful that when whatever you use them for, it's devastating. But he tells the group, this is what they're trying to get back and get them into not get them to the wrong hands. And the guy who's there, he can unleash, strip away, protons and all this other stuff. So we realize, like I say, Vanessa's in a hangar. This is what's going down. It's taking place there, and this is what Tony says. Like, okay, I got to think. I got the message from Vanessa. So what do I need to do now? Sue informs him about the stones, and this is where Archie kind of breaks down what they are, blah blah blah. And they say, "Well, where can we find them?" This is where you know that both Tony, Archie got connections. They got, and they realize they start to figure out what needs to get their minds going, where these people are at. Sue pretty much says that the buyers would want to come in and leave quickly, so they got to fly in there. But as they mentioned, they fly in unannounced by anyone. They're going to get shot down by the military. Because you cannot fly anywhere in this country or anywhere in the world without a fight plan. If you don't have a fight plan, yeah, you're going to be blown the fuck up. So
Can I add
basically,
to that?
go ahead.
Okay, add to that also. You need authorization.
Yeah,
You need authorization from the United States to fly in, because if you don't, you get shot down by the U.S. military.
yeah,
So they have windows. I think they have windows where you can fly
yeah.
in. Yeah, you can fly in. Give us authorization. How long you're gonna stay? The stay might be maybe a day, maybe half a day, whatever. They just go there for. I think they're just all going there. There's like 4 helicopters, dude, and they
Yeah,
all go from different countries. All the countries that people can perceive that Russia or
South
Syria
America.
or Iran or fucking, anyone like that.
Australia, maybe, yeah.
Like China, something like that. But like you need authorization to come into American territory. Yeah. So I guess and I think that's how he found it. He says, well, you know what? I think Archie said, well, you know what? Let's find out the logs of who's being able to be allowed to come through United States airspace.
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
And you got to remember too, where they're at, it has to be small and kind of isolated for no one to really notice these things, And that's the thing. Yeah, thank you for that's a good, because that's one thing one thing I can say from this film. It does announce something that is actually true to form, that you can't just fly anywhere and think that someone's not going to notice. They got radar. It's like if you're like an unidentified flying object, if they don't have you on a flight plan, it's like you're going to be burnt to the ground real quick. So, and this is where we realize we're heading in. This is the moment where we switch from just a basic robbery action flick right into total science fiction. Mm-hmm. We're in science fiction country now. It's like, and I'm gonna tell you right now, dude. I'm gonna tell you, this moment is like, I don't know how y'all feel about it, but if you've seen past martial arts films, dealing with, can you honestly say you've seen some moments where they put a little bit of something sci-fi or I know for sure fantasy comes into play with some of these those past martial arts films, but total sci-fi. Have you seen films like that come into play with that does this?
It's kind of rare, but I can't think of any right now.
Yeah, because I don't. What about you, Phil?
Yeah.
Well, since this is a Jet Li movie, I think one of his other Jet movies, The One.
Yeah.
Sci-Fi.
Yes, that's You know what? I forgot about that one. Yeah, because in The One is the one is pretty decent.
Or Equilibrium, in a way.
Yeah.
In a way, but not the whole using controlled plutonium or something like that, and then using a machine that can actually turn it put it into a capsule and actually use it as a fucking bomb. Where he was even able to measure how devastating or the radius or the impact radius can be once it's stored in this little canister, little thing like that. If it's stored, it said, 2 Hiroshimas, and then he says New World Order. I was like, where did that come from?
I was gonna say, where the hell is that damn powerful? But in this, look, remember, he broke a piece, and it's just like this little bit of chunk, and it's like that thing is that damn powerful. It's like, I was like,
it went from hip hop street to mixed martial arts, mixed martial arts, and to basic and traditional beautiful martial arts, and now we're going to sci-fi, and now we're in sci-fi, thug shit, Rough Riders, martial arts, science fiction.
So now, like I say, we're at the third act, and we're about to get into some crazy shit right now. So during this time, like I say, the guy who's got the machine pretty much strip away, making this one piece super powerful, just this one piece. So in that moment, Ling is asking the buyers, I want you to bid for the highest bid of how many stones for how much you want, whatever, So, like, I don't know how to best describe this. These are like grown ass people acting like little kids, asking 15, like 2 million or 3 million for 5 stones, blah blah blah, and then you see one of them, the black dude, stand up quick, and say, I want $15 million for 10 stones. And then you see that one dude that's in a wheelchair and say, walk me up to the table. He's like, it's like they all ganging up on
20 million for 20 stones.
Like, I'm like, dude, it's like, this is to me, this is such a little school moment, seeing like kids run up, like, I want this, I want how much it is. I'm like, you motherfuckers need to chill right now. Y'all acting like y'all ain't never had candy or like ice cream ever in your damn life. So when this is going down,
Well,
Archie, go ahead.
Sorry, man.
No, go ahead.
This is where the supposed seriousness of this film just went out the window.
Yes. In fact, I could say everything that you see after this is like, okay, we just like I say, Rough Riders, we're gonna ride with it, but it's not gonna be the kind of ride you think it is. So during the time we see that Dragon, which we find out he's a badass sniper. He's got this rifle, and taking out two of the sentries that's guarding the door. And who should bust into the door when they're doing the bids and everything? Good old Archie and Anthony Anderson's character busted in the damn tank that we saw earlier, and notice that Anthony, in fact, what's his character's name? I don't want to just keep calling Anthony. His name is Tommy. His name is Tommy. Tommy busts out in his Charlie Brown shirt. I mean, that's kind of funny, seeing a grown ass man wearing a little kid's shirt on, wearing that, and he says, gets this machine gun, and say, "Freeze, motherfuckers!" It's like tell him, it's like, hold up. And the geek guy, he said, "I knew it." I knew, say, "You fucking amateurs," So he's telling everyone just to freeze, and homeboy, he keeps edging towards his, truck. I say, "Be cool, man." He say, "Be cool." He say, "Don't move, motherfucker." And he's just like, and everything goes to shit right there when Vanessa breaks out of the van, gets out, and homeboy jumps in his truck, and dude came prepared. He ain't no amateur himself. He got two machine guns strapped to one another, and he says, "Come to Papa," and he starts shooting at the tank and everything. I was like, oh shit, okay, we in it now, so I'll let you take it from here. Sci-Fi.
Oh, dude, it's just funny shit, bro.
It's going crazy.
He's like, "Everybody be cool, don't move, motherfucker." I was like, dude, I was like, he's not gonna. And then you say it, like he the other guy had two machine guns, but then Anthony Anderson's character found out that he had that huge fucking, what is it, 20 millimeter or some shit like that. He starts blasting that dude, and he literally freaking takes him out. He literally takes him out with that big ass shit. It's like, why didn't they just use the fucking big ass gun?
I guess that'll be overkill. I guess in their minds, which they're going to use. And
then Vanessa gets out. She slips through the bottom. She opens the hangar door. She gets through, and then now we have the match. Jet Li goes, and they're going after Ling, and then Ling literally throws Sona, which is Kelly Hu's character. Yeah, Sona. Then she starts trying to fight him, and she's literally like, and Jet Li's like, "Really? You're trying to fight me? Really?"
Right?
Yeah. And then so Ling can cut. So Sue can go for Ling. Daria comes in and fights with Sona.
Yeah.
And who knew that a one-time turning trick, freaking call girl knows martial arts? I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
How the hell did she know? How the hell did she learn that? Did she learn that? Did she learn that in trick school? I don't know, bro.
Maybe.
Yeah, she took a class in trick school.
I guess that's a regimen. I mean, if you turn in tricks, you got to learn some martial arts to protect yourself.
She had probably some strong ass fucking leg workouts. Let me tell you something, bro.
Well, in trick school, you have to take a martial arts class. It's accredited.
You need flexibility to be able to.
Yes.
You need flexibility to be able to make a trick. Pay you at least a good sum for. Yeah, I think it was worth about a good $600. Why not? But anyways,
you said it.
Like I said, you could tell she was in shape because Gabrielle. I hardly ever seen Gabrielle Union be that kind of physical.
Yeah.
Aside from Bring It On is just cheerleading, but I don't even think she was that. Was she that physical in Bad Boys? In any of the Bad Boys films she was in?
A little bit, she was,
but not like this one. This one, she was.
No, that's what I'm saying. In
This
fact, I
one
was going to say
is like,
Bad Boys came out that year too. I
yeah,
forget.
yeah, her and Kelly Hu, I can tell she's had more extensive martial arts training. But I mean, Gabrielle Union surprised me. He's like, oh shit, you know, she did good. You know, African American people are athletic, so, you know. So I'm not gonna. I was kind of impressed. I mean, it was silly that we had no idea that she knew martial arts.
Mm-hmm.
But or was that athletic to be able to use a freaking jacket to, you know,
Yeah.
make a girl stop shooting you with a handgun? So yeah, dude, it's just
Anything's possible in this movie.
yeah. So that's why. But anyways, you know, she's taking care of Kelly Hu, and then the whole thing with the whole like she turned her hand and made her shoot herself. I was like,
yeah, I know. That's when that the look you get is like, okay,
Yeah, where'd she learn that?
yeah,
yeah, I was like, improvisation. Okay, it's good. And then now we go to I think I'm gonna leave the fight between Ling and Sue to Phil Fanatic, but I'll
in
get
fact,
No. Let's for all of us.
okay.
Well,
Well,
all of us.
we're gonna get there. In fact, that's he tells you know, Tommy, you know, and Anthony, I mean Archie, say don't let Ling get away. So he gets on one of the helicopters that's trying to make an escape, and Tommy says like, I'm out of bullets. He's like, okay, put the load up the cannon. He's like, how? It's like, put the giant bullet into the hole. You know, it's a big.
Yeah.
And I like how Tommy puts the damn shell into the, because he kind of does puts it into the chamber and just pushes his fist into it to fire. So Archie, you know, gets lined up to fire at the helicopter that Ling is on. And in fact, I just got this piece here because I love this moment right here. So hold up a second. This is the moment here.
Oh yeah. He shot it in the ass.
I just love this moment here.
how it did not. Okay, so it did explode, but okay.
And I love how he just blows his scalp.
Well, you need explosions in an action movie.
Yeah. See. Now, okay. Now this is what's kind of funny, and I'm gonna ask.
How could you live?
What you say?
When you say that, you say how did
Daniel?
he live? I think you said how did he live?
How did Ling survive that shit? Getting out of the freaking helicopter.
Oh, I'm gonna tell you how. It's
Yeah.
you know, the suit he was wearing. You know, his leather suit.
Oh, it was,
Yeah.
it was kind of like body armor.
it's,
Oh no, it's
fire retardant. You know.
that
Yeah.
and it's vibranium kind of stuff. I guess that's what it was.
Yes.
too, something
Yes.
like that. Okay.
Yes.
Yes, but because it's like I'm like, look, I'm like
And the spray tan he had. So that.
I'm like Daniel though. The damn thing, I mean, crashes on the ground, you know, spins around, and he's the one who walks away from the damn thing because the helicopter pilot, he's like, he's gone, he's done, you know. But it's crazy how this works out because you see when it hits the ground, it spits out all that fluid around, and when it hits the water line, you know, sparks a flame and it does this. Now, this is what makes me wonder here in this moment where we say suspension of disbelief. You just throw it out the window. Just fuck it. You know, don't worry about it. Isn't this something that we've seen before time and time again in some martial arts films? And this is where I feel like so many martial arts films we've seen in the past, there's always a blend of fire, a ring of fire, or a water element, which is usually rain. But here we don't have no rain because, you know, it's pretty much no clouds in the sky. So we're going to do a cheat. We're going to hit a water line. It's going to sprout water like it's raining. And we're going to have a ring of fire and some kind of rain element. Do you feel like this is something you've seen in martial arts films before? It's some kind of symbolic thing.
I'll just mention my first guess. Universal Soldier.
Oh,
yeah,
that's yours. This is mine. You know,
That's
I'm glad you brought that up. I don't even remember that, but yes, you're right.
so sad.
I
I
have
hadn't
one
remembered
too.
that either.
Correct me if I'm wrong, fellas. I've seen this in a Jet Li movie. Correct me if I'm wrong. Was it Romeo Must Die at the end?
It was Romeo of the Star. It was a Ring of Fire, but there was no
Ring
water
of Fire?
element though. But
No
yes,
water, but Ring of Fire. Okay.
mhm,
There's
yes,
there's
Mm.
another one too. There's one more. Lethal Weapon, when his first movie in the United States.
yeah. That's right.
Ring of
Yes.
Fire? Oh no, there's water.
Well,
Because
it
it
was
was
no
rain.
it was no fire, but it was a water element, and
There's
it
water
did the
element.
same thing. It hit a,
But
fire
Right,
hydrant.
Or
right.
Romeo Must Die is a good one. Romeo Must Die connects more to it, but I think because in Universal Soldier when it's Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren,
Mhm.
he blows up some shit. And there's fire, and then it starts raining, and
Yes.
that's when they start fighting.
So
Yeah.
I'm just wondering,
Oh,
is
but good
that
call with Lethal Weapon. I remember
yeah?
that.
That's what I'm saying. Because I
And
didn't well, he really
the lawn scene.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
no, but that's kind of cool because see that's the reason I asked is because I know you guys though y'all seen enough martial arts films. It's the some kind of symbolicness of the fact that the fire is showing like okay you're involved in something that it's like you have to face the elements, and then the water is like cleansing you off with the knowledge
mhm,
of knowing that it's like you have to embrace what you have to do in terms of your opponent or something like that. And I'm just wondering,
yeah.
has that been done before, not just in American films but in past martial arts films as
Mhm.
well? I mean, I'm not sure about. I mean, I figured like see these more westernized films have done it, but I'm thinking has they done it before passings, or was it just something that they just threw in there and just like okay, we're gonna try
Yeah.
this for what it is.
I have one more. I don't know if you guys ever seen this movie. Ninja Assassin at the end.
Dude, I've seen
Yeah,
yes.
but there's no water. It was just the house was like on fire and they were like fighting inside the house.
Ninja Assassin
Yeah.
is something I think that's underrated film
It's
too.
one of my favorite movies. I love that.
Yes, it's crazy. But I just wanted to ask that question because it's funny how when you because I swear when you see because it's no let's be honest, it's no accident, it's on purpose. When the
Mhm.
helicopter crashes, it turns around, it's spilling all the liquid on the ground, and it's in a kind of a
Yeah,
circular pattern. It's like, okay, we got the ring of fire. Now we got this water element. It's like, okay, and it ain't. And the funny thing is, it ain't putting out the fire. I guess
no,
because the liquid is not the typical fuel. It's more aircraft fuel. I guess it's more prevalent to water. It can't be
Jet
extinguished.
fuel.
Yeah, jet fuel. It can't be extinguished that easily because I've actually
right.
heard that jet fuel takes a little bit longer to get out put out than regular gasoline. So it's like that's like okay,
Well,
we'll ride with
it's
it.
great stuff to bring up though, Jedi. It's
Mhm.
with those elements, the water and fire.
Yeah.
Uh, in any movie when it comes to water, rain, it gives it like a dramatic element to it, right? And
Mhm.
then when you get to fire, it's like rage. Oh, something's gonna go
Yes.
down,
Right. See,
especially when it
that's
comes to a fight scene. Yeah.
and so after you mentioned that Ling has survived, the crash, which
Hmm.
no human being, but then again, I don't think he's actually human. I think he's an immortal,
Mark
maybe.
Dacascos, bro.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
he's immortal, man.
He's look. He
Shit,
was
he's
look.
in.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm just saying he's in so many good movies. John Wick,
Yeah, in like a Brotherhood of the Wolf,
a Wolf. Oh my god.
badass movie.
Only
I
the
Yes.
strong.
only
Only.
yes, only yes.
I don't know if you ever seen a Crime Freeman.
I don't know.
I don't think I've
Yeah.
Double Dragon.
Double Dragon. Yeah.
Double Dragon. Yeah. But here's where we realized, okay, Ling has survived the crash. So, well, Sue comes through the flames like Jet Li did in Romeo Must Die. Although I think that was more of a composite when he comes just walks slowly through the fire. It's like, dude, you ain't going through that fire and not get singed. I'm sorry. Here, he's able to jump through the fire only because I think it's water element and everything, so he won't get burnt and everything. So all this is going on, and I should include too. Remember, Tony is trying to find his daughter, trying to catch up with his daughter, and that bald dude is after his daughter, so he's dealing with that shit. So, but this is the main event. Sue and Ling, who would win in this moment? And Ling is pretty much telling him, say, you were lucky last time, you won't be lucky again. I'm just like, oh boy. I'm like, how's this going to end here? Okay, so because we've seen that that Ling is pretty badass himself, but how's he going to go against Sue? We're about to find out. So, how do they do it? They just, you know,
You got to square up.
just throw up, and then they just go at it. And I gotta say, some of the stunts and martial arts in this scene are pretty badass. Because the moment where Sue gets Ling in a certain hold, he tries to spin around, but Ling turns around and comes on his kind of like butterfly. I mean, like eagle. I mean, splits on his. I was like, okay, this dude ain't no one to play with, So I'm gonna just kind of throw it out to you guys because I figure y'all more martial arts than I am. But I mean, do the martial arts in this scene pretty much serve its purpose in this?
Well, it seems like Mark Dacakis like showcases more of his kicks. It seems like, correct me if I'm wrong, Daniel, like Taekwondo. Before, yeah, and I know he does. I don't know his background of martial arts. I've seen his movies, and he's done like he's done. You remember that movie he's done, like Capoeira?
Yeah, only the strong.
Only the strong. Yeah, but he showcases more of his kicks here rather than his punches.
Yeah, his kicks are. He's more known for his kicks.
Yeah.
But like he has trained in everything, man. He does train. He's from Hawaii father's Mark Dacascos, Filipino from Hawaii, and he is a martial arts instructor and the founder of One Hoop Kyun Do. So he created his own. So he's
never heard of it either.
martial arts Hall of Fame. So he's trained in pretty much everything, man. Probably trained in gymnastics. He trained in gymnastics.
Yeah.
He trains Muay Thai, Capoeira, and Amen Santo and Wushu.
That's why he didn't die in that helicopter crash, because that his leather suit was made in the Philippines. I got it.
I mean, it might be. That's kind of true.
But Wushu is also pretty sick, bro. But he's more his kicks. He's more of a kicker, so I think that's from the Capoeira and Muay Thai.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but he's got hands too. He's got fast hands and he's got all that stuff. But he's a well accomplished martial artist. But I agree with film. He utilized more of his kicks.
In this fight scene.
Yeah, because I know Jet Li's renowned for his kicks, but I don't know if he's that much of a kicker guy. Mm-hmm. Jet Li seems more of a like what do you call it?
Wushu.
Wushu, yeah, Wushu, and what do you call it? And
Wushu and
Tai Chi.
Wing Chun.
Wing Chun, there you go. Wing Chun, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
And so yeah, but I mean, he does kick. He can kick. I mean, he can kick really good. But I think Mark Dacascos is more not seasoned, but utilized and more frequent with his kicks.
Yeah.
But dude, like I said, he knows all that shit. He's done and trained all that stuff. So he's been training since he was young. So and he's Filipino.
He would be,
yeah. So he's Filipino. So that's good shit, bro. And I mean, he was fat. Like obviously, Sue and Ling have their differences. Like Ling's more of utilizing kicks, and Sue's more of his hand speed. It's his hand speed, you know. And that's where they utilize it. But he got good kicks. He's got counters. I think in this one, Jet Li utilized counters a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
counters with his feet. Like he would counter kicks with his feet, with his legs. And what did Bruce Lee used to do? He used to counter. That was one of his first counters every time, even in Return of the Dragon and Enter the Dragon. So what would Bruce Lee do to counter a kick? He would stop the guy from even kicking.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how I see it. But I'll pass it to film now.
Yeah.
No, it was a great fight scene, and just going back to the movie, you could really feel the tension because going back to the history of these two, going into the government together, and
Yeah.
then Ling, betraying, uh,
His trust,
Sue,
basically.
and then in killing off his whole group, man.
Yeah.
Just fucked up. Imagine, put yourself in Sue's shoes, right? Man,
You
this is the guy who
betrayed
killed
me
off
when
your
I grew up.
your whole team and betrayed you, and betrayed your country. Man, you're about to get it.
I'll
Yeah,
be
you're
a
about
little
to get it.
pissed.
You're about
Yeah.
to get it. I don't care, how good you are. It's yeah, it's either you or me. So you could really feel the tension in this
Yeah.
fight scene, and I love the showcase of both martial arts. They had to bring. Um, uh, Azu had this. He had this one move that he showed in that cage match with all those
Yeah.
guys. Like is this rib hold?
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
that rib hold, man, and man,
You
why the way he got that guy with the rib hold. Oh my god, I was in pain, And he tried to do the same thing to Ling in this fight scene, but
right.
Ling countered it. Yeah, so
See.
yeah, but if he if
But that
he if he
but
got
that
him
move
that
that you
in that
mentioned,
hold, bro, that's a fucking fatality, man.
dude, I'm like,
I forgot about
Yeah,
that.
Yeah.
right.
That's
Yeah,
brutal.
so since this is your podcast, Jedi Garnville, you want to go end it?
Yeah, I'll do
The
it. Go ahead.
fatality
'Cause like I
move
said,
of
yeah,
Sue.
right. Well, we already know that Tony has pretty much got his daughter, and Homeboy is trying to, he don't the ball one of the ball henchmen don't mind hurting kids. He's like I say, he's pretty much into harming kids really easily, but Tony gets the upper hand. He's at this plane. He takes the things that you use to stop the wheels. Keep them from rolling. He pretty much smacks him around, takes one of the propellers on the plane, pretty much wings him in the dick, pretty much, and he says, "Wrong kid, definitely the wrong father." So while that's the second thing that's been done, Sue pretty much gets the upper hand on Ling. He gets him down. He that one particular piece of shred of the plutonium, or the plutonium that they pretty much got to, that's so powerful. He takes that, puts it in his in Ling's mouth, and I gotta say, this is where I say this is a totally badass kind of film. Although you have to wonder, if this thing is this powerful, how come it just irradiated him, it obliterated him, but any surrounding area is not getting affected by this? I guess you mean to tell me that maybe this is the reason why you think see, that's what I'm saying. This is where you're
Well,
supposed to, like, where the fuck is this going? It's like
well, these movies right here, brother, you have to turn off your brain.
Yeah.
Just turn off your brain and just enjoy the ride.
accept the ride,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you know as well as I do, if something is powerful than two
Hmm.
Hiroshimas and it leads to new world
Yeah,
order, it's like everything around them should have been like atomized. But
bro, not even that. Well, they're fucking like shooting tanks, guns. What happens? They're not even like looking into like, hey, I might shoot the stones, and they blow up,
right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So they have disregard of everything.
So it's like, well, damn you do, damn you don't, and it's like whatever happens, like we'll just face the sacrifices together. It's like, all right, but
It was
he
the
gets
suit.
that.
It was
Go
the
ahead.
suit. It was the suit, man. That compressed all of the nuclear plutonium, all of the
You
freaking.
know what?
It
Made
was
in
the
Philippines.
I can accept that. That makes sense.
Yep.
Filipino suits, bro. Filipino suits are
Those
the best.
Filipino cities, we gotta get
They're
some.
durable.
We
I got.
gotta get some. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead, go ahead, Jedi. I'm
No,
Yeah.
sorry.
I was like, no,
Especially when we go into a ring of fire.
Mhm.
Yeah,
See,
definitely protection.
but that makes a whole lot of sense. I mean, I know you had to, like, you got to joke about it, but because look, anytime I watch films, I've been doing this since I was a kid. I actually look at the logistics of something, and I'm thinking like, this cannot work like that. That's not going to go down like that. It can't happen like that. But even then, you say, as you say, film, it's like you got to turn that center of your brain off, because there ain't no way this can happen. But you gotta figure something that actually makes sense. And yeah, the suit, the jacket, the leather, yeah, it compressed all that energy, and all it did was pretty much make Homeboy glow in the dark. And then it just sucked all the essence out of him, and it's like, well, he's dead now. He's done. He's no more, and he's pretty much Kentucky Fried at this point. Although not a good Kentucky Fried, everything's liquefied. I mean, not liquefied. It's he's just dead. Just put it that way. He's dead. So after all this, we wrap this up in a pretty good bow. We realized that Tony might have to go to jail because Mike got to go to jail. He did wrong, but Sue feels like, well, I'll talk to somebody. Maybe they can give you some leniency and time and everything. So, and he pretty much says to his group, it's like, it's about time I get my shit together. It's about time I think we all did. And then Archie comes and say, well, come on, man. It's just getting fun. It's like, well, not that fun, So as anything in these movies, and this is a Joel Silver film. Remember this. Joel Silver is known for this. You've seen it in Die Hard. You probably seen it a little bit in you've seen him, you've pretty much seen him in two of the Die Hards. You've seen him in other films where, in fact, you've seen him in Executive Decision. You see where all emergency vehicles, police vehicles, all the ambulances all corral into one spot to say, like, okay, here comes the cavalry. Motherfucker, you're late. Y'all could have been here like 10 fucking hours ago. Y'all just not getting your ass here. Say, fuck that. But they walk up to the police officers, and you can see it in the, because this is where the song of right, wrong, wherever day goes, you hear that song playing, and we see that Tony and his group, they walk over there, and you realize, like, well, Tony's got to go to jail. And in its midst of this, Sue says, the stones that he has now, they'll be destroyed. Makes me kind of wonder how they get destroyed and how they get made, and why did they get made in the first fucking place? I don't think that's a question anyone ever asked, but we'll exclude that. Anyway, this is the part of the movie that it's just like takes you out of the movie. Well, hell, you've been taken out of the movie already.
Tommy can be a comedian, try to be a comedian. Daria can stop working at the strip clubs and stop turning tricks. Right. Archie can, start, being an actual salesman and selling shit legit. Mm-hmm. And what do you call it? Dragon. We call it Dragon can, maybe go to rejoin the military, be a sniper. Yeah. And then DMX is gonna go back to, to jail where he's used to being. And the Sue will give him some, Sue will put in a good word that he only gets about, probation, maybe 2 or 3 months. Right. And then Vanessa can live a happy life, man, with that. Does she keep that? Does she still keep that necklace?
That necklace, yeah.
That's probably worth like $10 million right there.
Yep.
That's like, but I mean, that's just me, right? I just wanted to say that.
But I mean, that's theory.
Daria could definitely stop turning tricks.
Yes.
Yeah.
She'll never do that. So, but we end this picture with Tommy and Archie, because this is something that Anthony Anderson and Tom Arnold did similar in Exit Wounds, where the credits roll and they're just spin doctoring stuff that's they say could be done in a future film or whatever, and they're just talking, just yapping, while firemen are trying to put out. Notice that before this film finally goes to black, the fire is still going on. They've been talking for like 2 or 3 minutes. Fire is still burning. Why? Why is it still burning? They don't have no kind of foam or something like that to put it. But anyway, so they talk about, about how Schwarzenegger, he could be in this film, and he's saying, they should be, I'm going to make a story out of this, write a script, blah, blah, blah. and the film pretty much ends there, and it's pretty much it. It's not a glamorized, action picture, but it's one of those action pictures where I feel, and I think you said it best, Daniel. It's like it hasn't really aged well, but it won't make you bored. It's like it takes you out of left field, but it's pretty much what it is. So to kind of give our rating about it, how would in fact your final thoughts? What is your final thoughts and kind of rating on this film? We'll start with Daniel.
Slow burn, a slow burn, but still it starts slow, but then it's just rushed. It's very, very rushed.
Mm-hmm.
But it has its moments. It's got its good moments. DMX is really like, even though Jet Li's usually a quiet kind of like to himself kind of person in the film, but DMX usually takes most of the the attention. But then when it comes to the fight scene, that's when the fight scene is it's all about the Coscos and Jet Li. But it kind of reminds me of a film. I'll just say this. It kind of reminds me of a film called, I don't know if you guys heard it or seen it. It's with Vin Diesel called Babylon AD. Is it?
Yeah, I know. I
Yeah.
know. With Michelle Yeoh in there. Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of that, but I think Babylon is better. But it's like I said, but it's like it's a film that you if you're bored as fuck, dude, put some popcorn and watch it. Yeah. But it does have the early 2000s vibes, aesthetic. The Rough Riders, freaking the DMX Rough Riding, that was one of the best parts of the film. And there's a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of good parts in it. The Coscos is a good actor. When he went from martial arts to actors, he did great. It's just it has little substance, especially the plot is just very little substance, but it's got it where it matters, I guess.
Yeah.
Like where the stars that you hire, like DMX, Jet Li, and the Coscos. That's I mean Anthony Anderson and Tom and what do you call it, Tom Arnold? No, yeah, Tom.
Yeah, Tom Arnold. Yeah.
It's all right. It's okay. It's an okay film, and if I rate it, I'll give it like a from a 1 to a 10, bro. I'll give it about like a 5.
Okay, hey, that sounds fair, because like you say, it is no Lethal Weapon, it's no Die Hard, it's hell is not no Predator, so it's like, yeah, I think that fits well in with that. Film, what would you overall thoughts and rating on this film?
Well, it's not a perfect film, as we all know.
I know,
And
stress.
like I said, this is a film that you have to turn your brain off and just enjoy the ride. Well, else you're not going to enjoy it, man. And because there's a lot of things that don't add up or make sense, right?
Right.
But the film has a lot of good actors that I like. Jet Li, martial artist, and as DMX, who I love.
Yeah, rest in peace.
And more, he's not a great actor, but he's okay to to go alongside of Jet Li, and the story is not all that. I didn't particularly love it, but it's a fun film. The stunts were good, the soundtrack was awesome, and it was just an okay movie for me. I have to agree with Daniel, and if I was to give it a score out of 10, it'd be a 6.
Okay.
I would give it a 5, but I'll level up more on 6 because of the actors, the stunts, and the soundtrack. It was fun, and then fast paced as well, but it was a fun film. Yeah.
Okay.
But not a great film. Yeah.
Because that's the whole purpose. It's not perfection, but it's doing what it's supposed to be doing.
And also, when you watch this film, it gives you kind of like a time machine back to the 2000s.
Yes.
And how they did movies, because like it seems like they just grab who's popular at that time, DMX, like Daniel was saying, right? Okay, hey, Rush Hour work. Okay, let's get some martial artist, Asian guy.
Yeah.
Okay, we already use Jackie Chan. Let's get Jet Li, and put those two together, and it worked for the most part.
And that's kind of true.
Yeah,
I mean, because like I say, I mean, it did what it's supposed to do. I mean, it didn't really make much money at the box. I mean, I think it made its budget back, but other than that,
yeah.
it's not great.
They
And
called it a moderate. They called it a moderate success.
okay, and because I think the budget on this thing was like 25 mil, and that's just low for any. Well, then it too. This was early 2000s. I think that was like say fair for what it, because if they had done much more, and if it was bigger, much more popular actors in there, they probably had to spend a ton of money, because I didn't realize this at the time, that actors is part of the budget. Their salary is part of the budget. So I was like, oh shit, So, but for me, yeah, I agree with what you guys said too. I mean, because this film, even though it's a fun ride, I mean, it's nothing to get so serious about, because you, like I say, you got to turn your brain off. Um, would I watch this again? And there, of course, because it's something to say. How can I kill 2 hours? It's like, well, let me put in Cradle to the Grave and pop it in, and it's like, okay, I'm lost in wonderment, and this is where we're going with that, And it's like I say, it's no great film. It's not gonna win. It didn't win no Oscars. It didn't win no kind of major awards, but it did what it was supposed to do, which is to entertain and keep you glued, and hopefully, you just feel like even the logistics of someone surviving a helicopter crash and just blithely walking out. It's like, okay, I'll accept that. It's just why and how, but we'll go with that. So for me personally, the rating on this film, I say, it's going to be kind of in between you guys. It's going to be where Daniel gave it a 5, you gave it a 6. Film, I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's pretty well fair, because like I say, it's not the best, it's not the greatest, but it does what it's supposed to be doing. I mean, I think that's all you ask for.
But I'll add this too, bro. It's all about what movies you like, man. It doesn't like rather if me or film didn't really like it, or if we didn't see a lot in it. It's all all that matters is if you enjoy it. That's the point, man. And it's like with
It's
me,
all
like I said,
subjective, man.
yeah, exactly. Like I don't like Babylon AD. I thought it was a pretty good film, but it didn't do very good in the box office either. And
That's a very underrated film too, I have to admit, because it's
and then like other films, like like I said, like here's a good example: The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
That they considered that a box office flop, but I enjoyed that movie.
I was gonna say I love that film. I don't know what else I was just watching.
Yeah, I love that film. It's supposed to be like Sean Connery's last film.
Yeah, that was his last film he did.
So that's what I'm saying. Like as an example, like there's movies that me or D might like, and there's movies that, okay, here's a good example that I told you about, The Last of the Mohicans.
Mm-hmm.
You thought you said it's not a bad film. It's just a film that you probably wouldn't watch again.
Yeah,
what I'm
and
saying?
it's not. And look, because I know, like you or a film or anyone else suggests a film to me, it's like, I give it a shot, and usually I really get into it, but I don't know why this particular film. And like I say, and I've seen many people boast about it, saying that this is a really good film. I could see that, but for some reason, at the same time, I can't really get into it and don't find it so appealing as I would think for you guys as. And I don't know. I mean, that shows where you realize right there, because I've told other people about certain films that I've watched, enjoyed, but they didn't find it too appealing either. And it makes me realize right then and there that shows that you have an opinion. You have a mind for yourself. You don't have no one else thinking for yourself in terms of what should I like or dislike. And that's a good thing, because if I can say, okay, if I did watch Last of the Mohicans, and I did, and feel like I instantly liked it. It's like that's on me because I enjoyed it, not because you suggested it. You feel like you probably enjoy it. You might do this, but if it's the opposite of that, which it was, you realize like, well, that's not on that person who suggested it. That's on me. That's letting me know that I didn't find it worth anything in my mind to say it's worth watching again. And it just lets you know that if you know what you like and what you dislike, you're not a so-called, how can I say, not
Not a robot.
yeah,
Not a robot.
exactly. You're not a robot. You're not some mindless, person that's they put some input into you, and that's how you're supposed to follow. No, you are someone who has their own distinctive way of describing or thinking on your own terms, and that's how it should be. And I think that's what this film is like. You realize you can't make someone like something if they don't like it. You can't make someone dislike something if you dislike it. It's just that's because I know I've seen many films in the past where I disliked them, but someone said, "Man, this is the greatest film I've ever seen." I was like, and I'm thinking to myself, like, you actually like that, But then I realized, like, it's like, hold up, if that person likes that, it's like cool, that lets me know like they got that opinion, and you should follow that. You should respect that, and that's what I do. I respect anyone who says like, yeah, it's all right, and like I go with that. And if they do like it, it's like I still respect that. It's all about what you feel. Go ahead.
Can I say something to that?
Yeah, sure.
You're absolutely right. Well, and that's okay. It's okay to have, opinions on certain things. We're not gonna all like agree on things, and I don't want to. Like I want to hear your perspective on, not just movies, on everything, right? And we talk about everything when it comes to life, right?
Exactly.
All three of us, and I want your personal opinion on it. I don't want you to just be a yes man.
Yes.
Hey D, yes. No, D, you're wrong with this. You didn't see this side or this. You forgot about this. I want you guys to like, make me aware of what I missed. Because when you guys talk about certain films, and there's things I didn't even look at the film in that way. In those eyes. I want to see it in Jedi Granville's eyes. I want to see it in Daniel's eyes. Maybe I missed something. Maybe I'll have more appreciation for the film, right? But I'm not gonna change how I feel, like about this film because because some audience love it more. That's cool, awesome. But this is how I feel, man. Regardless, and I definitely respect what you guys feel. That's it, and that's how we roll, man. We keep it. What Daniel says, raw and real. That's it.
Keep it 100.
Yeah, keep it 100, man. And X gonna give it to you. Gonna give it to you.
He's always gonna give it to you, and that's what we
Get
should.
at me, dog. Get at me, dog.
Get at me, dog.
Get at me, dog.
Bro, Fridays.
That's right. Y'all gonna make me lose my mind, So
up in here.
See,
X gonna give it to you.
But you get what you get the understanding though, and that's one thing I can say about films like this, and they'll so-called stand the test of time, but in the end though, it's up to the viewer, and I feel like the viewer will decide for themselves about if they choose it or not. So, but hey. But this has been a great talk. I gotta say, I thank you guys for being on here and discussing this. I mean, I know it might be taking you out of everything, but you know what? This was a good time. Even though we didn't get to see your beautiful face film, hey, your voice still holds up, and that's what's important. Yeah, there you go. But with that being said, do you have anything? I know you don't have a YouTube channel, film, but do you have anything coming up as far as on your channel, Daniel?
No, man. Your audience, just check you guys out. Check your YouTube channels out. Check these guys, legends right here. If you like film, like movies, like gaming, check out Daniel's, Jedi Granville, man. Whole plethora of genre of movies.
Yes, because I'm doing something tomorrow, which is kind of jaunting,
Mm,
which is talking about
mm,
my favorite Godzilla scores,
yeah.
in the past. So it's like it varies, so we'll see what that
I
goes.
learn from these gentlemen right here.
Hey, that's like I say. I'm not so much a good teacher. I know Daniel is better than I am, but
Hey, you got to stop that. Nope.
I was gonna
You
say,
are.
yeah, let
You
me
are a
stop that because
professor,
it depends on the
sir.
individual. So let me say,
You are a professor,
yes, I got you. Thank you,
just
brother.
like Daniel.
All right then. But hey, we're gonna end it here. And like I say, gentlemen, thank you again for making this happen because this was a blast. I thank you for that. Rough Riders as we be, like anything. So anybody who was watching, I appreciate y'all attending, and hopefully you got something out of this because like I say, some of this stuff even I didn't know, about the MMA fighting and everything, all that stuff. It's like, dude, we learn something new every day. So but with that being said, I'm gonna leave you with saying as I close out with everything, y'all take care, y'all be patient, and as always, y'all keep the film legacy alive. All right. Till then, peace out, baby.